Hello.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another session of Chicago. Another professional session of of Chicago by Night. uh, our 31st session, Beginnings of War. Let us begin, before I do the recap, by introducing this wonderful group of people and the characters they are playing, starting with V.
Jack, I'm playing Joseph Martinez, House Kana, the Tremere Primogen, Princess Warlock, the Seneschal of Thin Bloods, and I have forgot the last honorific I added on last time.
Oh,
That is perfectly fine. We're at so many at this point.
Yep.
And I am Ethan, the storyteller of these wonderful people in this not coterie. So I've got a shorter recap this time, so we can just get straight up into the
Cool.
action. But if there's anything our people want to mention or think was cool or
Mhm.
interesting, or want to talk about the things that happened at the party, we can also talk about them in character in the next night as well, if you so desire.
Yes. Yep.
But I'll begin with a very short recap. So, our kindred began the night by heading to a party that some of them were invited to. On the way, Irene and V saw some ominous visions. An albino squirrel who got caught in a drain, and V collected an ancient Roman coin of Mithras' time. They pondered on this strange occurrence for a while before heading to the party. During this neonate party, I should say, hosted by Olivia Moss, a Toreador child of Annabelle, the Toreador Primogen. During this party, V met with a strange individual named Faith, a fellow Banu Hakim, who came along with a few other figures, among them a strange woman in a black turtleneck jumper, and another woman named Jenny, who seemed obsessed with books and literature. After some time, a small fight broke out between two cults that found themselves at this party, the Menelians and the Hellenes. One of the Menelians had noticed that one of their fellow members had been diablerized in the bedroom and attacked the Hellenes for doing so. Irene appeared quickly out of the shadows and apprehended the subject without much effort at all. The place was locked down, but Faith said goodbye to V as their group left the party before the sheriff could arrive along with Joseph. Irene, Joseph, and V worked together to discover that the diablerie had been committed in a ritual to worship Cain, with their hands igniting during the passionate feast. The group then went home past the fountain, the snow, and had some time to talk amongst themselves there before they went home and finished the night. Was there anything people wanted to mention before we begin the game?
I don't believe so, no.
I think that was.
Oh, and I Googled.
There was a
Oh,
ghoul
I have a Ghoul
yeah.
now. Yes.
who I believe was slightly more charismatic than Joseph. Was it slightly more
More
charismatic or more
intelligent.
intelligent?
He knew
That
more
was
stuff.
intelligent. That's right.
Is smarter. Yeah.
Fantastic. And we're going to be seeing more of that in the future, of that
Mm.
interaction.
Of other people being smarter than me.
Yeah. So, let's so all of our kindred are going to make a rouse check for this new night. What happens is the sun sets this night of the party, falls down into the sun rises actually. It comes up towards the sky as our kindred go into torpor, and the day of Chicago continues. Overcast, snowing down, tire treads with chains on them making their way to their jobs as usual. It is getting slowly towards October, I believe, is the month that we're heading towards now. And people are already starting to set up certain lights, certain things for the season and getting ready for these sorts of things. As in America, it is quite a bustling business that happens. And there's a lot more illumination, much to some people's disgust or to some other things of the night as well.
Hmm.
And as the sun makes its way through the sky, you can barely tell. A lot of thin bloods might be out this time and not be affected by this time. The sun is barely up. The nights are longer, and it's colder all around. Still snowing down. And as these people make their way back home to warm fires and interior heating and such to settle down, we finish the weekend. It is a Monday where people are exhausted. They've just gone back to work after a hard weekend of partying, relaxing, and doing what they usually do. Where the sun sets, but this time it doesn't set like it usually does. As it falls beyond the horizon and darkness comes across the city of Chicago and the lights begin to flicker on, there's a ominous glow, a flash that only those who awaken early in the morning see. Is a green light that flashes across the sky just momentarily as it disappears. And this is when our kindred awaken to this night, this cold, cold night. Luckily, there's electric heating in this grand manor that this group have. This fake fire that heats the area around it. You can simply wave your hand at if you are not Irene and turn off or on quite easily as it senses you. How were we with our rouse checks?
Oh.
66%.
Two, gang.
One hunger lasted all of,
Yeah.
one recap of time.
This is where, our kindred awaken this night. What do we see them doing this night?
Did Joseph witness the green flash?
What is your humanity at?
7.
7? I would say you would catch it. If you have humanity 7 or above, you would catch this flickering green light that sort of goes across the sky momentarily. That very last bit of light that the sun shows.
Probably by the window then. Probably has some warm blood, I think, because we still have like a bit of a supply, I think. Just sipping some warm blood by the window, looking out over Chicago and the lights that are coming on. Because if we're coming into October or we're leaving October?
You're coming into October.
Cool. Because Halloween's coming up and he knows a great deal of folklore around that. So he's like excited, I guess. There's a lot to do. So he's not like hugely like, woo, Halloween, but he's like, cool. We're coming up to the festive season. So like people are, I think he's doing a bit of work as well because he knows that this time of year can be difficult for some of the people he works with. But that's him.
V and Irene, how do we see them?
V would be printing out the photos that she took yesterday, getting all of the notes, making sure that everything's in its right area. Prepping for a new night, also doing all of the admin from the night before.
Did V take photos of the party last night?
She only took photos of the Diablerie scene, like that area, the evidence, but nothing. I don't think she took any inside the house other than that room.
Okay. And Irene?
Yeah, and Irene would probably be doing things that she can in terms of helping the situation. So like checking the mail to see if we've received anything, making sure the house is looking good, and just checking sort of around the place to see, that nothing's been breached or anything. Aside from that, should just be loitering around, probably kind of checking out where Dawn was in the basement beforehand, and seeing that part of the house, and if
doing a
there's
little
anything left, and
bug sweep,
yeah,
waving their hand around.
If there is,
gotcha.
That's right.
It's surprisingly clean. It looks like they swept and mopped the place to make sure that there was almost no trace of them being there. If they had left anything, you would find it, but there's nothing there. Since Dawn Nakada, the Archon, made her investigation and has found you all as good kindred members of society, upstanding members of kindred society. You are cleared of all these. So there is nothing around here. No bugs, no nothing.
I think Joseph would just, if Irene loiters back into the room and if V's doing stuff, I guess just be like, did you see the green flash before?
Green flash.
Yes.
What was that?
There's a lot of different reasons behind it. It's generally just atmospheric conditions are met right. The light disperses differently, but in folklore, it can mean a few different things. Some say it is when a soul returns to the living, which could be ominous.
Yeah.
It can also, if you see the green flash, can also symbolize that you will never make another mistake with issues of the heart.
Well, based on the fact I didn't see it, we'll see what happens.
Certainly. But I fear with the way things are going, it may be more indicative of the first. Something may have just woken up.
Great.
Or the atmosphere just happened to be in a particular spot.
Which seems more likely after everything we've done and seen.
Yes. A very rare sight, though.
Yeah. Green's a good color, at least. Like, it wasn't, an ominous red or something.
Yes, yeah.
Wasn't bright purple. Should be fine, I guess.
Well, sunsets are often purple and red and orange.
True, but they're not usually a flash.
Yes, that's very true. Very true.
Green is somewhat otherworldly, though.
Yes. Associated
guess.
with quite a few strange otherworldly things.
Like
Or
Cthulhu.
nature. Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully it's...
God, if we have to deal with Cthulhu as well,
No, I think on my reading of
What?
that, you won't have to deal with them much because you mentally won't really have the capacity to. It's a character created by an author by the name of H.P. Lovecraft. Otherworldly beings. It's fallen very strongly into cryptozoology.
Okay.
Oh, that's your new major.
Yes, we've been talking about it quite a bit. People love bringing it up to stop discussion of any real topics.
I see.
Yes.
Big tentally guy, lots of mind fuckery.
Things that you
That's what
can't
you really
comprehend when you look at it, and so are usually mentally scarred and don't realize that you are doing its bidding, helping it free itself, locked away.
An interesting concept.
Yeah, lots of little
Yes.
cults are usually, like, at least in the book or whatever. There's little cults that do stuff for
Are
it.
you trying to say something, V?
To you, Irene.
No.
Yeah, Joseph gives a very knowing look to Irene
to
and
you,
just been like, it's very clear that some of this media has been based off other things.
Yeah, to you, Irene, this could... to you, your probably first thought is like ancient kindred, especially Tsamizia and
Yeah.
Sombra, who use tendrils and such, who use dominate and stuff like that can do these things just naturally. Especially in
Yeah.
the Sabbat, this is probably like...
Yeah, I think
every
Joseph would
day.
even like, he doesn't know too much about the ancients, but he'd be like, it makes me think about some of these, what we saw in Willerton that really defied understanding, and these people that gather around those things willingly or unwillingly.
It sounds like something that could have been written to either bring or deter attention to something.
Yes.
So,
I'm sure
so
someone was around during Mr. Lovecraft's life. Probably find out.
probably. How long ago was this?
I don't know how old Lovecraft is. Wasn't it like the
late
80s?
1800s?
I think so.
1800? Yeah.
Early 20th century.
Early
Yeah.
20th century, yeah.
Yeah, so not that long ago.
Never mind. I was mentioning it as a joke, but cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Often those coincidences, as I find in my studies,
Yeah.
are more coincidental than
Sometimes
think.
more, sometimes less.
yes.
I will butt in here. During this conversation, at some point, Irene, is when you're sort of making your way through and checking things and making sure everything's okay. And then you step outside, make your way through the snow. Your sort of black silhouette of darkness against the white purity of snow around you. And making your way through, you do find that there is a single letter in your letterbox. It is neatly folded in this sort of old brown paper that you've seen before, and stamped with a
Finally,
very
some good fucking communication.
and stamped with a very
texting shit.
mock old stamp out of wax.
Ooh.
Huh.
Sort of
Ooh.
resembles a crown in a weird way, but it's not any of the specific clan symbols that you know of. It seems too jagged, like more like a medieval crown that's got the spikes on the top.
I see. She'll still open it first outside before she goes back to the others.
Yeah.
Read it herself first, just in case it's something for her specifically.
Yeah,
That
it
letter
is.
board goes off.
It is written in a very fine calligraphy ink, and it simply says, "The ripest fruit falls first." That is all it says.
Joseph.
Fruit iconography.
You're a riddle kind of person. Do you know what this would potentially refer to?
Do I know what this could potentially
Let's find out, shall we? Intelligence academics, please.
Okay.
I cycled this
Have a
up to
dot.
you.
Yeah.
You can have it 1 dot from me as well.
Does
Yeah.
this involve theology?
Irene, from the time that you're alive, this helps. And V, your technology stuff to be like, I'll look that up online.
Yeah,
You guys
like,
can
give
all
me
sort
a
of
second.
assist in
Right,
this
fruit.
own way.
Any theology involved?
Not in this one.
Cool. This ain't from the Bible. Holy guacacholi. 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's what we love to hear.
6.
Holy guacacholi.
Yeah.
Yes. Best friend.
8 with a crit.
Okay.
Ooh.
So this is a quote from a Shakespearean play, King Richard II, Act 2, Scene 1. And whatever it's reference, there's a lot of symbology to this, but it's very specifically almost like copied out of those books that you read it in. Like the way that it's structured, it almost looks like you could see like,
Where the scene would have
Richard
been.
says,
Yeah.
and blah, blah, blah. It's almost like someone's taken that book and like copied it out of it.
Copied it.
But in a more fancy calligraphy, like they're trying to be more like
Does
of
it
the
match
times.
the letters?
Absolutely. It's nearly identical.
Ooh.
This is the same person writing letters to a different Bronwyn.
Oh, god damn it.
And this is Shakespearean, as most of the other stuff seems to be styled, but this looks almost traced or copied. This isn't authentic writing. This is page-to-page copy.
Did Dawn leave any of the security cameras?
They are part of the
they'd
house.
set up?
So,
Okay,
yes.
and I think V had access to them through the computer.
Mhm.
Should we check the security?
Sure.
Seems like a good idea.
Okay, I'm gonna go and try and see if we can see if there was any
Yeah.
Black Wolf or anything.
You would have like
Shakespearean reference I can think of is One-Eyed Cave speaking as though
That
he's
did cross my mind.
from an Elizabethan thing.
did you break the seal? Like rip it in half, or did you try to preserve the wax when you opened it?
It's like easier to preserve it rather than break it. It just like peels off, right?
Yeah, but you're also
Yeah.
ungods.
Let's have a
So I
check
would
to see
like
if
to
you.
know.
Let's have a check to see if you did do
How
it.
delicate is Miss Irene when
Let's
it comes to this?
We'll have
Strength athletics.
we'll have composure craft, please.
Ooh.
Just composure.
You can rouse the blood as well.
Rousing the
Roused.
blood to open a
Break his
letter.
You're so strong that you have to be like, okay. whew.
Hulk.
I roused successfully.
Hey.
Oh.
Yay.
It's all about that finesse, am I right?
Too much potence can be a problem.
4 successes.
Yeah, that's
My composure is carrying
Cool.
me.
Completely fine. Easy for you to do. You open so
I-
many letters. You probably have a letter opener even or something that
Yeah.
you actually use because you're
Yeah,
that old,
preserve the
right?
seal.
You use those things all the time.
Draws Zweihander.
No.
Cool. In that case, I would like to look at the seal, and because I have kindred iconography and stuff like that, I would like to figure out whether this is simply an older version of a clan symbol, what this
Mm.
means, if not that.
Joseph, I have a question.
Mhm.
Remember way back when you said that you had a premonition about a wolf wearing a crown?
Yes.
Does this image reflect the one that you saw, if you can remember?
Let's find out.
It this one's 2D, that one's 3D, but the imagery of this crown is more sort of English royalty sort of stuff, like
Yeah.
medieval times. So it's trying to be that sort of Richard II in a way. But I'll get another check since this is a separate
Of
check.
course.
Let's
Yes.
have intelligence and politics. Irene,
Politics over here.
you don't have politics, do you?
I have 2 dots in politics.
You can
What?
add 1 dot to this. Yeah, just
Lovely.
1.
TY. I love my gem dice, but they roll like shit. That is 3 successes.
Yeah, between the two of you, you can tell that this symbol being more sort of that sort of Elizabethan sort of like crown symbology, with the sort of holy cross in the center and a bit more roundedness to it as well. It's closer to the Ventru sort of clan symbol than it is more the La Sombra in a different way, because the Sombra is more
Like
sorry
bishop's
the
crown.
more of a bishop's crown. This is more of a king's crown
Yeah.
than it is that.
Closer to, Ventru, which we know that 1AK is. He seems the most tied to this kind of speech. Fascinating to see that he can't write his own calligraphy.
During this process, V, you're checking the cameras and making sure that
Yeah.
everything's fine. It is at the beginning of the night, the flash of the green, when you see this wolf make its way out of one of the nearby alleyways, crawl its way across, and just empty this letter into your letterbox before looking back directly at the camera and then scuttling its way off.
Mm,
It's a bit more blurry since it's so far away,
yeah.
but you can make your assumptions.
She'll come back to the group. It's the goddamn. Yep, it's the wolf. It's the same
The wolf.
wolf.
Well, we have confirmation now, at least.
Hmm.
Are you able to track animals like you can people, Joseph?
It only
No?
does people. Yeah. It's only because it's like faces.
Yeah, and I have seen this wolf in person.
I don't know how good you are at
Yeah,
wolf faces.
It doesn't work with
Please.
no, it doesn't work with animals.
Oh shit! All right.
You've got enough.
No.
You don't need.
I have 5 dots of blood sorcery, please.
Give more.
No.
Give
We can
6, please.
see it's snow. Is it? Oh no, is it snowing? What? No, it's autumn. No,
No, it's definitely the dead of, well, not the dead of winter, but we're coming into winter. It's
Yeah.
snowing and shit like that.
Yeah.
So we could try
so
to look
if there's
for-
animal tracks, we could look and see.
It's very
they left
difficult
any.
for things in this city. Those tracks get mixed in with people, cars, slush. It's, yeah. There's a reason I use magic to track people.
Yes, I understand that,
But,
but you can't use magic.
It's a good idea. But I fear it won't be that easy. Ventrue with Wolf that follows his whim.
Venture don't usually have animalism.
Who is
Oh.
left under One Eye K's?
Guy we still don't know the
Genghis,
name
Crook.
of. Genghis, Crook. Uncas is
Walter
gone.
Nash.
Balthazar's gone.
Walter Nash and him aren't
Walter,
on the
yeah.
best terms currently. Well,
Felix-
since the last we heard.
But I feel that this is a pretty good connection that it may
Oh,
just be
Swordman. Swordman.
Nathaniel.
Oh gosh.
Nathaniel, I haven't seen him use animalism, but it's
Doesn't
not
mean he
out of
doesn't
the
have it.
question. Yeah. And also, if this One Eye K individual is not part of the Camarilla, who's to say that he hasn't diablerized?
That is true. Or just picked up some things. We've got no idea
sure.
how old he is.
As long as you
Do we?
taste someone's blood.
Why would he send
Oh,
this
you've
to
got a
us?
vague idea. Because we're
I
investigating.
fear it's a threat. Because, what is it?
The
first fruit.
ripest fruit falls first.
Yes. And because we're so
We're doing well.
endowed with information, we're going to be the first to be targeted or
believe-
taken down.
If I might be wrong about this, but I believe in the context of the play, it is a threat.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
yes. Great.
So this is definitely a mind your own business. You are a little too close
Sure.
to this.
Like the concept of One Eye K knowing where we live, though. That's not ideal.
No.
Because last time that happened, we had a few major renovations, let's just say.
Yes.
Whatever the opposite of renovations are. I guess that.
Destruction. But
Yeah.
wouldn't be the first time that someone's broken into our home.
No.
it's
Why not make
it's
it
not our
safer for
home
you?
if it's not there's no
Well,
fucking breaking.
In all technicality, it's only my home.
That is true.
So if you feel unsafe, you need not stay here.
You're the squishiest out of all of us.
I am also a primogen.
Hmm.
Targeting me is unwise regardless.
I don't know if they see it that way though.
They did try
Mm.
and light the prince's car on fire
Yes, very true. I am.
across the road from the Suckies Club.
You are less of an asset to the Camarilla than the prince's car, maybe.
Yeah. The prince is warlock, so removing me removes his source of information and blood sorcery.
They still got disciple, but you
yes.
are better, of course.
He is
but
hardly the
disciple.
prince's warlock. Yes, but that is something that we're clearly close. If
Mm.
we're being sent letters directly. What to do
I'm
about
assuming
it?
he doesn't know about our connection with Maxwell either.
That I'm
Mm.
unsure of. Communication seems quite light because we haven't been contacted by any of Maxwell's
No.
people. So I'm not sure if One Eye K is closer or further away than us.
Well, he's been in the game longer, we know that at least, but
Mm.
Maxwell seems to be relying very heavily on people remaining loyal to his cause
Mhm.
for just a long period of time.
Just believing in that the
So
current
probably-
times are wrong.
Indeed. And for all we know, 1IK has designs of his own, which, given the fact that we are the way that we are, it's more than likely.
Yes, Elizabethan desires are not exactly the most fitting.
No. Maybe a bit too archaic for Maxwell, but anyway.
Yes.
I don't know. At least we have this to go on. At least we can know for sure that it is that wolf. It's just a matter of it showing up again.
Yes, and the connection's been made, or at least we've made an assumption that it's him.
Step in the right direction.
I'll take the letter and possibly the printing out like a screenshot of the dog dropping it off.
Yeah, sure.
We'll add it to the wall, put some lines between it, 1IK question mark.
Get the string out.
Yep. Well, he's going to write green flash and put the date, just in case. Well, we can't exactly solve anything from in here, so
No.
I will. Should I call Tim Roche? See if he's in not planting bombs in a building
Luckily, that wasn't him.
that
was
we
just
know of.
Gerard. Okay.
I don't
There's
know if
only
Gerard
two of
planted
us.
them there.
He said that there were two of them, him and someone else.
And someone else, yes. I will give Tim Roche a call.
A few rings by after, I should say, 2 moments.
Because I believe I left a message last time. So
Yes,
if
you
this
did.
rings
Yeah.
out, I am not leaving a message because I don't want to seem like this crazy, like, talk to us, please. I haven't seen you in days.
Yeah, no, this will not ring out. I've just got to get the appropriate little sheet. 2 seconds, and I'll have it with me. There it is. Okay. After a few rings, maybe 3 or 4, you hear sort of deep panting on the other end. They don't say anything, but they're just breathing heavily into the phone from the other end.
Hello, is this Mr. Roche?
There's a fumbling sort of cloth on the phone that sort of crackles away until the phone comes up and you hear, hello? It's Tim Roche's voice.
Hi. Mr. Roche, is everything okay? There seems to be a bit of disturbance on your end.
Who is speaking?
This is Joseph from St. Michael's.
Right. Yes. You and I need to talk.
You certainly do. I'm glad that we're on the same page. I would rather you be comfortable. Where would you like to meet?
Let's meet. We'll meet at this place. It's on the north side. It's called the Garden.
Do I know that that's in like Kindred territory? It's not like in.
It's in Anarch territory.
Okay, but it's not like werewolf territory. Cool.
Werewolf territory is sort of south side. It's south and west side.
Cool. That can be organized. I would just like to be clear that I will not be bitten when we arrive, neither will my compatriots.
I think my friends have learnt better from doing that this time.
Excellent.
We thought you were human.
Excellent. We will meet you there at, I'll give her time.
Yeah. Great.
Thank you very much, Mr. Roche.
We'll talk
See you
soon.
then.
Both of you hang up basically at the same time.
Yeah.
Great bit
We
of
will-
time.
Yes, he actually wants to talk with us. So
Oh.
clearly he was panting and something was going on. So I'm not sure what is going on.
Do you think it's a
But-
trap?
No, I think something's happened again.
Oh, needs
And
our
now
help.
they want to be like, either solve this or they're going to blame us or something like that. But we're going to a place on the north side called the Garden. So we need to be on best behavior because it's technically anarch territory.
Oh yeah.
But it's
Little-
not the like headquarters near the south. So it should be a little safer.
Okay. These anarchs as opposed to the other ones. We know that they are sort of factionalized. somewhat.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will. Who else do I need to contact? I'm actually going to call Critias's office and leave a message. I found a very interesting coin that's very old that I'd like you to look at. I'll bring it in next time I come in, but I think this is quite a find, and I think you'll be very interested by it. And I'm just going to make sure that Critias is thinking about me at all times. I want him being like, where is Joseph?
What's Joseph doing?
Why is he so busy? Why does he not come in?
Is
Is there anyone else we need to contact?
I don't think so, aside
Oh.
from going to the church on the way or the way back.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might text Mel Davis and be like, is there a good time to meet up? Question mark. Very important.
You'll get a generic text back that just says, we can meet tonight. Got to be quick. By the docks.
Cool. I'll let you know when I'm on the way.
Easy.
I think that's everything. Probably just a nice little text to Penelope Nigel, just to be like, how are things going? How's your first night? Call me or text if you need anything. I'm out and about. And then we'll get a moving, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's our first stop as our not coterie make their way downstairs into their sort of large garage that they've never really had before, with a few vehicles in there, taking their choice of whichever one they like, and making their way out into the night.
Gone are the days where we piss off every single car rental place in Chicago.
I know.
Quite.
How far we've
This
come.
plague of destruction through car rental has actually been stopped for a few weeks now, which is a boon
Proud of
to all
us.
these
Their
places.
prayers have been
Honestly.
answered.
I'm also glad that our cars won't be checked every
Yep.
day. A little bit more privacy.
As the snows come in, a lot of the police presence has sort of stayed in sort of more local areas as well.
Has any uprising or like resistance come from the piece that was done?
That's very fun.
It's like all over social media right now. There's no actual action being taken
Change
yet.
that's happening, but the
but
public's
it's-
like,
The public is definitely outraged, and there's a lot of stuff being signed and whatnot. And so it's being known.
Change.org
If you're
petition.
online, you know about it right now.
Yeah, bad press
And
for the
it's
cops.
it's only like a day or two away from like making the news sort of stuff to be like,
Got
people
it.
are outraged about blank and blank. We did our own investigation, yada yada.
and is there a trickle on the hospital front?
Oh yeah, it's sort of being wrapped up in this whole thing of like all
Shit's
this
happening in
money.
Chicago.
Where does it go? Like in Chicago,
Right.
where do we put it? It's like this
Yeah,
hospital, the police, and like something else. Like, why isn't it going to university or all these places that we need it to go?
Yeah.
It's
Social
sort of the
workers
whole
are
story.
saying blah blah that
Exactly.
it needs to be put into. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think V would have like a Google alerts thing, like every time a new article or something came up,
Yeah.
should tell Joseph, got another
Mm.
one. Oh,
Yeah,
Excellent. Good,
that'd
good,
be
good.
sort of slowly snowballing
Mm.
more and more.
like,
and
gotta
more.
turn my phone on. Oh,
Yeah,
no
it's like
notifications.
shit. There's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where is our coterie headed tonight?
Is there
Go
any
church first?
church first?
Church first on the way.
Church first.
Yeah.
They make their way through the night out
Mhm.
towards the church, but stopping a distance away so Irene can get out and vanish into the shadows, walking as she likes to do up towards the usual place. The church, which is a large stone building atop a hill that was built on top of the ruins of another church and stands like a beacon of older times, but is also one of the most visited churches in the city nowadays, or these nights, I should say.
Interesting.
And
Wonder why.
Sundays, it's mostly bustling. Since today is a Monday, it is a bit less busy than it usually is. Your usual figures aren't quite here, but there's a few of them that you recognize as well, especially when you make your way through and greet some of your touchstones and make your way down inside to this sort of older, rustier, dustier place underneath where there's almost sandy dirt that is the ground itself that almost connects you all to this more natural place than the wooden floorboards above. You can hear the creaking of people as they move sort of above you occasionally. And yet no voices from down here make their way up above, and vice versa. Are you looking for any reports so far?
Yeah. She'd just go through and ask like everyone kind of individually, have just like approach them and actually talk to each person quickly and see if they've heard anything, whether there's something different from person to person, and sort of just gather everything together in a nice like information bundle, I suppose, from everybody.
As when people usually greet each other, kissing each other on the cheeks, there's almost like a when you lock eyes with someone, the two of you almost go blank with your expressions as an expression of I acknowledge you, and we are here, we exist for this purpose. There's been a collection of photographs that have been hung up on some wires across some string across the right hand side of this area. And all these photos of this black site that are of different angles, varying locations, people who aren't really supposed to be there in these sort of dark black uniforms that have these sort of those night vision things down, and more firepower than they should have being noticed. But it's sort of blurry, a bit off photos, and some cargo trucks sort of coming and going that look like garbage trucks. In and out of this place from a particular location. It seems that's sort of the first wave of sort of people keeping their distance and starting to make their way slowly inwards to see how far they can get. So this is the sort of the beginnings of everything. And from this, you can already gather sort of where, in particular, drop-offs and pickups are made in this particular area. There's sort of a section that looks like a building that actually sort of lifts up slightly, and people drive down under into the earth, and then the building sort of slides back down.
Yeah. I'll take the photos and just say I'll bring them back soon. Thank you so much for taking these, and continue investigating, but make sure that you're not putting yourselves in any danger. It seems like these people have a lot of status and money and equipment and all of that kind of thing behind them, and meaningless as it is, in the long run it would not do well to cut short everything that we've done.
A few of them explain that they've actually put out little feelers online to sort of like conspiracy sites about these things that they've seen, and sort of seen what other people can dig up and that sort of thing. So you actually have different avenues all going at this particular place to learn what they can. And, conspiracy sites are going nuts for this particular thing. In the middle of Chicago, this secret building that nobody knows about. Why do they have these people who are so fully armed? Like, what are they hiding from us?
Is it tied into this fucking police force that's everywhere?
Is
in
that
these
where all the
goddamn
funds are going? Yeah,
streets?
everything's
Yeah.
sort of making its way through in this big ball of conspiracy.
All going to plan.
I'll get the name of those sites that they're sort of speaking on.
The main one is the one that you originally searched way back when we started this Chronicle Online, where you researched the man who stole some of your touchstones earlier on.
Yep.
And it's a bit of a flashback from the past to be reminded of that. Way back when, and how much you've changed since that
All these conspiracies of a large cult under a church. That's ridiculous.
Black Site 24, I can get behind that, but this
ridiculous. What are you talking about?
And is there anyone else you want to talk to? The rabbi and the others aren't here tonight. Seems like they're busy off doing other things.
No, I think once she's spoken to everyone and got the photos, she'll get like other people in the group to take photos of the photos so they still have copies of them and things, and then take the original like hard copy ones with her, and just thanking everyone again. Make sure that you're keeping safe. Don't get too close. Don't make these people angry in any way, because we won't be able to do what we need to do.
We've seen how big their guns are.
Yes, indeed. And
do you know if your new ghouls are there? Because you made 3 new ghouls a few weeks ago.
Are the new ghouls there, actually?
They absolutely are. And as a matter of fact, the woman who was very violent with the shotgun is sort of getting involved and is sort of enjoying the sort of covertness operations of this sort of thing. She's sort of dressed up to look like a homeless person, and is sort of doing her best to be like, I'll stake out here and here and such. And they sort of eye you eagerly when you come in, but they seem satiated for now. It hasn't been a month since then, but give you sort of a knowing nod as they sort of get themselves involved with all this sort of stuff. There's
so proud of them.
There's a new sense of purpose that comes with this as well.
Yeah,
that helps one continue.
When I approach those guys, to each of them in turn, I'll just say, you especially need to be careful when you're looking at these places, just because I think they can tell when you are imbued with what I've been giving you. So I don't want anything bad to happen to you, especially now that you're here.
Yeah, they simply explain that they know that the others have told them that if they have this particular blood, that they can't get too involved with this. As for your last rousing speech that you actually gave them. You
should prompt one of them to start the sermon, and then you could be like, good luck, and go.
Yeah. But yeah, she will actually like make sure that everybody is feeling good and has everything they need, and I won't give them my address, but just tell them to let me know next time I'm here if anything goes wrong. And so they're like keeping an eye on the congregation while I'm not there as well. And then I'll go.
Lovely. You return after no time back to Joseph and V in the car.
That ongoing thing of every time Irene goes to the church, we listen to baby chorus, and then when she comes back, it's like, shh, and it's like
fine.
The best part every time.
Back, Harry.
Just before the chorus hits.
Yeah. Like, wait, go back. Step back.
2 steps back, just 2 steps back.
30 seconds and the song
Okay, cool.
I will get in the back seat and hand the photos to V and just sort of show her where they've staked out a few points of entry, but there are heavily armored and heavily armed people there that are wearing the kind of first light armor that we've seen.
Actually, would I be able to, looking at those pictures with V and the fact that they're going underground, I don't know if I've asked this before, can I know if there are some old Chicago structures that are really under there that they'd be using?
That,
or would it be new?
that specific area does not have ruins of Chicago underneath.
Ooh.
Interesting.
And
so
that's
there's probably
probably on
not some
purpose.
huge.
No.
Yeah.
Mm.
That
Alright.
that
Good to know.
especially does tell you, Joseph, that there would be no other entrances to that place.
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
no like ruins that you can take down, which is actually very useful information. It's sort of
Yes.
through the front door or
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's most of it's going to be above ground because
Mhm.
they're not going to pour huge amounts of to build underground. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm.
Very good to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do some tests with your the goggles you stole last time. See if we can figure out how to infiltrate it. Maybe do some tests with different heating and stuff.
Very true. Find out what really shows up on them.
Is it cool if I keep these, or do you want me to photocopy them?
No, they have copies of them, so we
Ah,
can keep
cool.
these ones. Yes.
Lovely.
You're just going to flick through them for a bit while we
I
drive.
guess we'll get moving to the garden. I guess. I can't really think of anywhere else to go.
Yep.
Let's go.
Mm.
Stop a sect war from happening.
Step by step.
So the garden is a lovely outdoor beer garden, basically,
Oh.
like a brewery that is set outside. Unfortunately, because of all the
Very
snow,
north end.
yeah, very north end. Unfortunately, because of the snow, the outdoor area is currently closed, where you can sit among the sort of hedge maze areas where the flowers are, but they've all sort of wilted a little bit because of all the cold weather. So everybody's sitting inside in the warmth by all the radiators and heaters and such. And as you sort of walk up to it, you can see it's sort of small, homely, modern, very modern in their way that they have those sort of like there's bartenders and waitresses making their way around taking orders. Seems quite popular still, even though it's so cold. People love to go out for a drink, even though it's cold. And they're bringing out those sort of long wooden sampler trays that have little bits of different ciders and ales and such on them and handing them out to people and such. Little finger foods being passed around. And there is a lot of women here. Like so many. It's probably 85% women. And there's about 40 people here.
Dope. I think just a random character thought. I don't think Joseph likes this. I've forgotten the word for that kind of millennial culture that sprung up around. What's it called? Hipsters. I don't think he's a huge fan of it because it's like, where in the future we should be like living as much and having as much as we want because life should be easier. And he sees just like these little drinks and tiny finger food. He's just like,
the minimal.
Have so much more. Like life's meant to be easier now because he grew up in the fucking like 20s and 30s. He's just like, eat, drink this, get a big one of each of them. Come on, like. So I think he's just like, it isn't hurting anyone, but he's like, but in the same breath, there's lots of women here, which also was not allowed.
That's right.
So he's like, hey, we win some, we lose some. Sure.
Things never quite perfect, but hey.
Yeah, it's balance. Okay, so before we go in, I think it'll be like, what's the plan? We need to talk to Tim Roche to get him to work with us. We're not trying to get an end goal. We are making baby steps towards him not trying to destroy the Camarillo and everything it stands for.
Yep.
So what do we want to get out of him this time, then?
An interaction that is not bad or neutral. If it can be a good experience, even if it is just exchanged words that aren't tense or
build some trust is the aim for today.
Yes, we're trying to go from like adversaries to acquaintances. So, and we are in our territory, so
yes, best behavior.
Also, the iconography is not lost on me here, so just your tattoos may actually help here.
Oh.
Sparingly, but you know.
Yeah, we'll rip our shirts open if needs be.
Yeah. We'll go in. I will look for Tim Roche. I will follow the etiquettes of this cafe if they come to us and we want to be sat. But you know,
Yeah.
blush of life.
Yeah, if anyone wants
Oh,
to blush
yeah.
with life, please do so. Make a rouse check.
Hungry.
Yeah, same.
So much
Me too.
fresh blood to be had here.
Yeah.
And such a lively place during such a cold time when you go into the
Yeah,
warmth. It's
there's
almost...
a lot of people in this small building. So it'd be like,
it is busy. So there's this wafting smell of all these different resonances that sort of almost gets you blood drunk in that moment.
yeah.
And you'll push it down. You feel it. The beast just reminds you that it's there and that it's hungry. But you
And
push it
probably
down.
it's so cold outside that we're like lots of blood to warm me up. And then immediately getting into a very warm inside and being like, that's too much. And the beast being like wasteful. Like yeah.
And as you step inside, one of the characters that you've seen before, I'm just trying to find their name so I can get this correct. It was Babs. You remember Babs, the
Babs. Yep.
long-haired, sort of redhead, who's sort of standing there with her beanie on in sort of by the front entrance. And as you guys step inside, she sort of stands up, looks you guys up and down. One of the waitresses comes over and she's about to, and she says, "These are the people we've been waiting for." She goes, "Oh, great, you're just in the back with everybody through there. Let me know if you need anything."
Of course, thank you.
Thank you.
And she makes her way back. Babs sort of just shrugs, leans her head towards a certain direction, towards the back, and then just leads you guys all the way through.
I whisper to Irene, just steer clear of the waitresses. Don't get too close to them. They usually have like iPads on them and stuff like that. We don't want them to ruin this company. Can I take your order?
And you make your way to the back, where there's a larger sort of group table for sort of functions and such that has been organized, and the tables have been moved around a little bit. Usually they're in a straight order, but they've actually, seems like this little mob of kindred have moved them around so that they feel a bit more comfortable in doing so. They've set their own table where you guys, so they sort of separated you guys from their own sort of little group. Tim Roche sort of sees you and just raises his head to an acknowledgement. All of them have drinks that they haven't touched in their hands and are just letting the juice slowly run down the sides and sort of fizzle away. Some of them have already lost all their foam because of all the time that they've been there. And they simply get you to sit down, and then Babs just slides the door behind you closed. I should mention as well, I forgot to mention this, as you're making your way through to this area, a lot of I'll get you to make a wits awareness check.
Ooh.
I do have sense the unseen going.
Lovely.
Just in case.
There are blood wards around this area, but they're on the people. They're on the humans.
Ooh.
A ward that you are not entirely familiar with, but just looking at it for a brief moment. Actually, intelligence blood sorcery to see if you can figure out what they do.
Okay, snakes, please. I have ward against lupines and kindred.
Yeah, it is neither of those.
Yeah, I have a feeling it's against ghouls.
4 successes, V. You sort of are looking at these people, and there's like a group of 5 women all at the table together, and they all just sort of look towards you, make your eye, and they sort of smile at you. And another group is looking at Irene, and they're sort of smiling at both of you, and just like raising their drinks towards you. Babs sort of clicks and says, "No, don't look at the lilies. Don't give them pay no mind to them."
Lord, I got 5 successes.
5 successes. This is called a herd ward. So this actually
Oh.
protects a kindred's herd from being fed upon, and will, if you try to feed on them without you have permission from the blood sorcerer, you will take damage instead.
I think he really respects it. He's
Mm.
like, hell yeah, I want to find out who did this. Like,
Yeah,
that's really
so
cool.
good that you see that, because none of the people here can be fed upon, unless you want to take some damage in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
It's like being around being thirsty, but being around a bunch of water you know is poisoned.
Yeah.
Respect.
Mm.
I guess I'll keep my eye out for who. It's hard to tell, of course, but for anyone that did that, because that's so cool. He wants to give me
Like, who's the
people that
trio? Who's got blood sorcerer?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you make your way through to the back where she closes the door, and you're all sitting down. Tim Roche just says, "Do any of you want a drink? Can you even?"
I can. Yes, and I'll have some.
What would you like?
I'm good.
I'll order some artisanal cider or something like that.
Okay, I'll leave it to you. He gestures like there's a QR code on the table.
Yeah.
You have to like scan
Like we're
with
in
your phone,
Melbourne
but
or
you're-
something.
Yeah, and you can
He
scan.
plays it off super cool. Was like, and then he's like,
Okay, so that. Yeah.
he's playing it off really cool.
Yeah.
It's like, yep. And then he orders something, and he probably accidentally orders 2, and then he's like,
The pizza as well, something like that.
Would you like to add this on? He's like, no, he just ordered a round of chips. He's like,
Okay, in the notes it says no.
please don't bring this to me. I made a mistake.
I don't know how to delete this order.
It's just the drink.
Boys' age is showing.
Yeah, and so you're sitting there with the we'll call them, they're called the party.
Actually, no, he deliberately orders more because he's like, I'm gonna show these fucking hipsters how to eat.
Yeah. They're called the Parky Mobsters, because they hang out in Parky. And Tim Roche is with them here, and he just nods to each one of you and just says, "I appreciate you coming by."
Yes, I'm glad that we can talk as well. I don't want to be some enemy or some representative. I'm here to help. We're here to help. So, what would you like to talk about?
This
Oh God.
Irene, I'll get you to make a dexterity and athletics check, please.
Okay.
Come on.
It is not combat, don't worry.
Yeah, but still.
Throws a
like-
bomb at her.
Yeah, grenade.
It's about this.
Actually, there is one thing I wanted to talk about. Pulls out an antediluvian.
What if I told you?
What is this?
It's a messicritical.
Oh,
Even
no.
better.
Oh,
It's 6
God.
successes.
6 successes.
Bruh. You crush it before you even see what it is.
Oh no! Maybe I do.
You grab his hand before he throws it to break his own. God.
Okay, a messy
Really bad
critical.
timing for a messy critical.
Can you roll a d10 for me?
Okay.
Oh boy.
Just to
It's
figure
a
out
3.
3.
Okay.
Mhm.
Where is this on the friggin' thing?
Tim Roche needs to learn very quickly not to deal with older kindred like this.
A
Remember
3
the
is a
last
hunger compulsion, which is extremely appropriate for
Oh.
Irene.
I am on 4 hunger now.
Yes. You're on
Right,
4
yeah.
hunger as he simply
God.
holds, it's a crumpled bit of paper, and he just tosses at you. Irene, you grab it, you just grab it straight away without even thinking. And but your mind is elsewhere. You're thinking about all the blood and all the things happening in the other room that you could be a part of. It would be so easy to take any one of them. They were so willing. They were all looking
And
at
they
you.
clearly believe in
Hmm.
something.
Mm. It's exactly what you wanted, all delivered on a platter, and your beast is telling you you are ignoring this. It's so easy.
Mm.
So anything not towards getting food, you'll get a -2 dice penalty.
Cool.
And you have that. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she just sort of look down and frown and just pass the paper to Joseph without saying anything.
He wants to be like, "What's this? Don't throw shit at us," but he'll open it. Thank you, Irene. What did it say? What is it?
It simply says, it's handwritten in some sort of pen. It says, "Anarchs, get out of town." And it's signed by Damien. It just says Damien.
V just starts laughing in front of
Joseph puts this down on
Jesus.
the table.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Right. How did you come into possession of this?
Babs answers instead of Tim Roche because he sort of clams up at the mention. Babs just says, "It was on Mendoza's body."
Oh, fuck. Well,
A thin
Where is Mendoza's body?
We have it.
Is this the only evidence that you guys have that Damien was the one that did that?
And that's why we're asking you, a hound and a primogen and one with such a
Some rando.
reputation with the prince. You have a
An
reputation
assassin.
with the prince. And we don't know Damien's handwriting. We don't know Damien's style of doing things. So we want your opinion on this. Because it
Damien
seems
is-
all too convenient.
Damien's super by the books. This is not by the
Anything
books
but
at all.
And is this his handwriting?
It's absolutely not.
We've seen his handwriting, yeah.
His is like the doctor style of like fast, quick, and difficult to read.
The fact you can read this means that it's not Damien.
That's exactly right.
As much as Damien is well respected and has to do a great deal of paperwork, he has poor penmanship, and this is far too neat.
Yeah.
I've known him for a very long time, and he wouldn't go out of his way to simply kill and leave a note like this. He follows, he's too by the books.
Damien doesn't want things to blow up either, believe it or not.
He already has too much on his plate.
We haven't declared any official war on the Anarchs. The Camarilla hasn't. There's no get out of here order.
Someone is putting on Damien as an illusion and is using him to create enemies of the Anarchs.
Tim sort of nods and just says, "They are playing a dangerous game then."
Very
Absolutely.
much. Which is why we're here. Because I don't like that anyone is being played when communication can clearly solve what is going on.
There are a lot of people in this city who want things to blow up and explode and just go to absolute hell. But I think there's more of us who don't. But the majority of us aren't doing enough to stop it from happening. And the people who want it to happen are going to lengths and bounds, as you can see here, to incite things, basically. So we need to start doing stuff to stop it from happening on the other end. Meet them halfway, if at all possible.
I'm sure you've been online as well. You can see that there's a great deal of ruckus being brought up about the police, about money, about where things are going. Everybody is very riled up at the moment and no one's listening.
Babs especially nods. That's infectious energy. I feel it.
People are dissatisfied. They will very easily rally behind something that entices them to sort of grasp onto meaning for it, even if it's a short amount of time.
It's easy to solve a problem with violence, aggression, tear down the opposition, but it's not. Easy does not mean right.
Tim speaks, there's a tension inside of the Anarchs that I can feel.
Oh.
Factionalism or something like that.
Could you explain it?
The list.
Mhm.
Someone knows who did that. And all any of us want is justice against who that is. That's all we want. We don't want a list of who gets to live and who gets to die. We just want to do our thing, stay on the north side, occasionally come to Elysium.
Why is that creating tension in the Anarchs? Do they not want justice as well, or is it one of them that has done it?
Some of us know, and some of us don't.
Mhm.
I don't know who it was, but I know some people who do know. And if someone ends up dead, they're going to point fingers in the wrong direction, and it's going to go to hell.
It point fingers towards easiest scapegoat. Yes.
Yes.
Normally they're the ones who aren't in the know.
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Who knows?
Yeah.
The only one that I know who knows, I don't know who he's told, is Gerard.
Ugh.
Interesting.
I saw the look in his eyes. He definitely knew.
Then we may be able to find out who it is sooner rather than later.
Given the fact he tried to blow up the Camarilla Elysium the other night, then
There's
maybe.
a reason for that.
Yes, I'm
Makes
sure there
sense.
is.
He's
But
behaving this way after he's seen a list that his name is potentially on or not on, then it says something. Are you friends with Gerard?
We've talked, but he's a tough one to understand.
I just mean more in terms of if he is not allowed to be here, would you suspect that you're not allowed to be here as well?
I doubt. Sorry, Babs speaks. She says, I doubt any of us in this group are on that list. The ones who survive, I mean.
You're not the Anita Wainwrights and Gengises of
Exactly. We're not the ones who put on ties and dresses and go to Elysium and look real nice.
do you know much about the Elysium attack?
When things like this happen, people talk. We've heard a little bit about it.
Could you please tell me your side of things?
Sounded like someone planted some bombs in an Elysium. That's all I hear. My assumption is that someone else knows about this list, or there's more to this than I figured. And I hope that it's not the latter.
I fear it may be the latter because
Always
assaulting the Elysium would not solve the list problem. I think this was more a message to be sent, a message that was not delivered. So I would like to find out what it is so that it can be dealt with without explosives.
Is there anyone in the Camarilla who can speak French?
Do I know anyone? Oh, Annabelle. Yeah.
We may be able to find out more about this, but Annabelle will know
Brett?
about it too.
Brett Striker cannot. The
Is
only
there
one,
anyone other than Adam?
I believe,
Yeah.
just Annabelle. Olivia cannot. I believe it's just Annabelle. Maybe Critias could speak a little bit of it.
True.
I'd
true.
prefer to have Critias know.
I'll
about
lead him
this.
with the
Oh,
coin.
yeah.
Come with me. Oh, oh, oh.
And
Oh,
maybe
man.
Bronwyn as well. Bronwyn probably knows a bit as well.
Yeah, Bronwyn's like medieval-esque.
Mm-hmm.
Eric, though? Oh, we can't bring her into this.
Trying to get your mum every
Girl has
Come with
to
me.
on her play. Oh my god.
That's my mom. Damn, should have made Penelope French. Anyway. Yeah, Josephine doesn't seem the type. Okay. Gerard. And now this divide within the Anarchs, is it split generally north and south?
It's hard to tell. We don't exactly gather much anymore. It's a lot of tension between everybody. But I'm not really here to talk to you about what's happening with us. I'm here to figure out this letter, whatever's behind that, because Babs again interrupts and says, "We want justice."
Of course.
Do you know
Absolutely.
about this? About who could have done it? Who might have seen it happen?
The area would be great.
We got nothing, she says.
Right.
Tim just says, "We'd hoped that you would know someone who can..." I've seen someone do it before a long time ago in the 70s. They touched a ring and they could tell me exactly where it had come from and who had been with it.
Yes.
I was hoping you would be able to do that or know someone who can.
Potentially.
We'll definitely be able to look into it. But right now, we're on the exact same page. We don't know who this copycat Damien is, but you need to be aware that it is somebody in between Camarilla and the Anarchs who is trying to start shit.
Yeah, we don't like this as much as you don't.
We may know someone who could have a look at it in that way, as you say.
Yeah.
Bronwyn might be able to do that.
I've tried everything, Tim Roche sort of says, and Babs again interrupts and just says, "We've been online, we've checked everything through the human networks and things that we can do, but this, we've run our course through it. The only way that we can figure this out is through means that we don't have, hence why we're talking about this today."
It's a high level ability.
And I appreciate the fact that you did reach out. That's all I wanted, is communication between us so that we can work together to solve this problem.
One of them, his name, Tim, sort of sits up. He's got dreadlocks, darker skin, like leather, a denim jacket, and jeans. Is sort of, he leans forward on his chair, takes a drink. He seems like to be the only one who can really take drinks from this, and then he just says, "This is, I mean, it's a breaking of your rules, isn't it? You're a hound, aren't you? This is, what is it? You destruction or whatever? This is..."
Well, potentially, but I also have official orders to take care of this as well, so it's
all the
bending
better.
the rules, but not necessarily breaking them.
And you're exactly right. And that plays into Damien's too by the books. He wouldn't violate one of the traditions just to send this poorly written threat. Because this is also highly ineffective. Anarchs get out of town as if, and then to sign your full name. Whoever's doing this is unknown, which makes them dangerous.
And they're not working for the cam, that's for sure. All of the hounds are looking into this as well. It's not just me. And they're clearly not working for your friends either.
Yeah.
So it's either a different Anarch group or they're somebody else.
Yes. Somebody who knows about the political spheres that are going on right now. Is there anybody new in your circles that has appeared perhaps in the last few years, the last few weeks, months?
Tim sort of shakes his head, says, "We're all new. We sort of only formed together like a couple years ago out of necessity because these streets are dangerous. So can't really help with you on that one."
That's fine. We could still look into it. Thank you for bringing this to us. This is more evidence that we can also show to our people.
Might be someone, as I said, who can
Yeah.
look at that and.
Yeah, do you
figure
mind if we
something out.
take it?
If it'll help.
Mhm.
There's a lot more
Yep.
old kindred
Yeah.
in our neck of the woods.
Yeah,
Mhm.
figures.
Is there any other issues that you think we might be able to assist with?
This is all I'm interested in. Tim simply says. Babs nods and just says, "Yeah, we just want justice for Mendoza. That's all we
Absolutely.
want."
As is deserved. I will give you the heads up. In the I can't remember which direction Black Site 24 is in.
Sort of,
East.
yeah, be east from here.
Yeah. Be careful if you head in the eastern direction. The Inquisition is about, and I would hate for more of your people to get hurt.
Figures. Those dogs are getting more and more rabid every day.
Hopefully, we can do something about that soon too.
Yes. Could we ask him about 1OK?
I wouldn't know if he'd know anything about One I Care.
Because he's kind of neutral. He's not an anarch, is he?
He is. He generally aligns towards the anarchs, but not the anarchs that you guys sort of interact with. The ones who are like,
The Anita
we're
gang.
buddies with the
The Anita
Camarilla.
gang.
They're
Yeah.
more like they're closer to independence, really.
Yeah, yeah.
But they've taken on the anarch label so that they can survive in the city.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, he'll say, what do you know about the group known as the Nihilists?
Name doesn't ring a bell. Can you be more specific?
Genghis Crook, Walter Nash.
No Genghis and Crook. Can't stand
about-
Crook. Can't stand Genghis.
They're all.
What
Yeah,
about Nathaniel,
Nathaniel.
the Nosferatu?
I've heard Crook say that name, but I haven't met a Nathaniel.
Be
Yeah.
very careful if
Don't
you do.
recommend
You
it.
don't want to.
Massive sword.
Very powerful, hates kindred.
It's to kill them.
Right.
Yeah.
But there's one individual in their group who I'm interested if you know anything about. Goes by the name 1IK.
Talks in Shakespearean. You can't miss it.
Shakespearean.
I don't know anything
But-
about Shakespeare stuff, but that is a name that I hear on the streets. Something
Mhm.
about drug deals and such between gangs. Not really sure what it's
Interesting.
about. I didn't investigate. Babs, you know anything? Babs sort of just shrugs and says same sort of stuff. Just person to go to or to contact if you need a hookup of some kind.
How do you get in contact with them?
Yeah, as any.
Through any of the gangs, I suppose.
I might make a request. While we look into this and try to find who this person is, would you be able to look into this 1IK individual? Because they sent us a threat, and I want to ensure that we aren't killed while trying to solve this other problem. Nothing
Timosh.
major, just a connection.
Yeah, Timrush
Yeah.
nods and says, all right, let's make a deal then.
Mhm.
You look into that and find who did this so we can get justice for Mendoza, and we'll dig up whatever we can about this 1IK figure.
Yes. Keep an eye
Sounds
out
good.
for Walter Nash, Genghis Crook, Nathaniel, because they're all part of his little group.
Like,
Righto. All right, you have a deal.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Yeah.
I think if there's nothing else at this point, our code read, there's some small chatter and stuff that go on. Still a bit awkward between both groups, and eventually you stand up and make your way out. Thank them for their time. They thank you for your
Yep.
time. And as you're stepping out again, there's
Oh, actually, I think before we leave, he'd be
Yes.
like, do you come here often? Is this kind of your little group? This your
Do you come here?
Bab, like wide-eyed, like leans her head back and gives a big groan. Tim just shakes his head and says, "No, we try to avoid this place, but it's neutral ground, so it's
Right.
good to come to.
Huh.
Do you know who warded though out there?
Yeah, she's called the Fury. Just stay away from her.
Okay,
I'm down.
fine. Right, bye. Yeah, he's like, it's good work. All right, thank you very much.
As you stand up and make your way through, again, the same group of women sort of turn over, look at you. You hear one of them say, "Nice tats," and then you sort of keep moving through. I imagine you don't stop unless you want to stop and talk to them.
No, we keep
No.
going.
Okay,
Nope.
keep
To
moving.
eat.
We do not talk to the
Hmm.
food while there is a full hunger
No.
glass in our hands.
And
Oop.
you make your way outside and
Mhm.
back into the car. As the scene is over, your hunger compulsion is over, Irene.
Well,
That
Thank
actually
you,
worked
Vanessa.
rather well.
yes.
Yeah. Oh
Good.
god.
Considered.
Progress.
Oh,
Hmm. Who? Oh, okay. We're gonna head to
Bronwyn?
the Succubus Club
Ah, the Succubus Club.
or the
Why?
university. Because
Okay.
we can wake up Gerard and be like, "Who did this?"
Would you like Critias to interview him or Annabelle to interview him?
Annabelle will fucking kill him.
Yeah, Annabelle has a
Hmm.
personal vendetta against him a little bit.
Yeah.
To be able to
Oof.
control herself now that it's a different night.
Uh,
Because she's
Tor-
probably already focused on her next event.
But also,
Torito be
would
petty.
you prefer Annabelle or Critias to know the things that Gerard
True.
knows?
Both Annabelle and
Because one of them will
Critias
know.
I mean, neither would be great, but shit.
both worked with Mel Davis in
That's
the
true.
past.
Mm.
What?
Critias-
He's like, would this create a drama that Annabelle would enjoy?
Yeah,
This is
I'd
serious
say
stuff.
probably.
Yeah, he's like, actually, just knowing that there is some doppelganger about that information is dramatic. Learning about it is not. So we will drop by the university first.
Critias sees less people anyway. Less
Yeah,
people to
and I
spread
have this
to.
coin.
That's a good point.
Right.
Seems like the wiser choice in this scenario.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. So we're heading to the
University.
university. It doesn't take us too long to get there,
Mhm.
and we arrive in the your special parking spot, Joseph, that you have
Yeah.
organized because you're part of the chantry. And
Ooh.
parking in that area is very easy. You make your way through. There's a few students around, but not a lot. Last time you were here, it was near finals, and so there was a lot of students still milling about. But now that finals are over, they're all
It's all the people
home.
resitting their exams.
Exactly, or doing further studies and such.
Yeah.
or organizing theses and such
Yeah.
such. And you make your way through
Such savagery.
these areas. Now, are you headed straight towards where you usually find Critias?
I think so.
Do you think this is a he'll trust you more than he'll trust us
I
situation?
think this is going to probably.
He's a man. Of course he'll trust him.
He's a
The
man
other
of a
thing
s-
is, I think your hound position may work better for we are questioning somebody in our custody kind of request.
Also, we haven't got permission to do this. Like, do you need to get permission to talk to Gerard in the first place?
Well,
Would you like to call Damien?
Damien
quickly?
already told me that I could do whatever it takes to find out who actually did this.
Yeah.
So,
And the prince also gave us like solve this
yeah.
times 4 forever.
Really
Cool.
honest doing
Beg
my
for
job.
forgiveness then. Cool.
Yes, better to seek forgiveness than ask permission.
Mm-hmm.
as the old Welshman used to say. But
I wonder about that as we is it really actually better to theological?
This time you find Critias sitting at his desk with this sort of ancient computer, also this modern sort of MacBook computer that he is sort of clicking the mouse and just shakes his head after a moment, and then turns around, opens up an old dusty book and starts reading through. When you enter through into his office, he just gestures for you to take some seats nearby, and he swivels his chair around and strokes his beard and simply says, "Ah, you three, as always. What can I do for you?"
We're here on business. How fluent are you in French?
It's been some time since I've been there, but it depends how much the dialect has changed in the last 300 years.
God.
Have you spoken
Right.
to Gerard much?
Oh, yes, the young boy Gerard. He has lots to say. Very, he sort of trails off in thought for a second and then closes his eyes and says, "What? Sorry.
Can you
What
can you
were we
understand him when he speaks to you?
understand who?"
Gerard.
Gerard. Yes, quite a young boy. Very not steadfast, but foolhardy in a lot of ways.
Can you understand him when you speak to him?
Oh, yes, we do have some discussions occasionally, but we do tend to disagree on a lot of things.
Okay. That means that there was enough back and forth for there to be agreements and disagreements.
Yeah, they've got to
Oh,
understand
I'm
each other
about to
disagree.
activate the jihad right now. Oh, boy.
Activate the jihad.
Press the jihad button. Excellent. We will need your translation abilities, as we have some questions for him about what happened the other night.
Well,
Are you up to the task?
well, if this is coming from a fellow primogen or from a hound, of course. Of course. If this is serious business, it requires my full attention. He sort of looks around, takes a pause, closes the tome, puts it on the rest of them, gingerly makes his way up, takes his cane and helps.
And after all of that, perhaps we can talk about this. And he'll flash the coin and then pocket it again. But business first.
He sort of eyes it very.
He's a man with knowledge.
As soon as you flick it up, his eyes are like on it instantly, and he looks at it as you put it away and goes, "Ah, yes, one of those. Oh, very well."
Oh my god.
With the with the speed that he looks at it and the way that his mind ticks over, he's
already figured it out.
He's probably already figured it out.
Yeah.
Celerity
He
allows
doesn't
you to
know
do
where
a
you
lot of
found it.
things. That's
He
very
doesn't
Yes.
know where
Yeah.
you found it.
Mm.
He's still got someness.
Mm.
And it gives him a chance to explain it to me as well.
Well, let's not waste any time, shall we?
Right, let's get moving. V, if you would like to give Damien a heads up that we're on our way.
Cool. I'll text him. He's probably busy. He's always busy.
Oh man.
Yeah, it would just be a text that say, "Hey, the can't say the coterie, goddammit. Joseph, Irene, and I are coming over to the Succubus Club to talk to Gerard. We've got a new lead."
Also, Critias is coming.
Oh yeah, also Critias.
Yeah.
As a by comment, like also Critias will be.
Yeah.
Damien, just you get sent a photo of Baby Chorus in this sort of recording room at the moment. You see Kathy Glens with her guitar, and it blurs her hand completely. And Evan Klein sort of in the background, and Nero as well, who's just staring like almost like through the camera at you with the photo.
This
And
dude
sends you that and says, "Best of luck, won't be there."
Yeah, I'll just go like, "Hell yeah, awesome, have fun." Smiley
I
face.
just realized we could have used Google Translate for this. Yes.
Shit,
Regret.
we're in
Technology is
the
amazing, isn't it?
we have
forgot.
my
technology.
minds didn't even go there, and I'm glad that I did a accidental in character thing.
Yeah.
Great. As you make your way to the Succubus Club, it's a Monday night. It is the quietest night for the
Yes.
Succubus Club. You take your. It seems like you're parking everywhere, Joseph. Your primogen
Yeah, I
spot.
do. I
My
do.
You
God.
definitely do.
I need to get a T-shirt that says "I'm with important" because
Yeah. And you take the parking spot and make your way inside. It's quiet. They're closed, actually. Nobody's inside. And all the waiters and waitresses are here to restock, reorganize, clean fully.
Deep clean them
Deep
sticky
clean.
floors.
Exactly. Someone's out there really like trying to get some of those
All
things
that
off
like
of there.
industrial solvent to do.
Yep. And it's just Kindred and these ghouls here tonight. Annabelle sort of making sure that they're doing everything. Portia's also helping move things in the corner as well. Khadijah's probably downstairs, you can assume. A lot of the Venture are probably upstairs talking to some of the others. You can see Irene, you see Alec, the ministry member, who is sort of sitting around and just
My new best
observing
friend.
Bestie.
things that are going on. And yeah, you make your way through.
Yeah.
You know Irene, that Gerard is downstairs somewhere in one of the holding rooms for now.
I'll lead them down there.
V.
Yeah.
How long does Ishtar's touch last? Like, I still have that vial. Would it have expired by now?
I don't think so. I think it lasts once it's used, it lasts a scene.
Yeah,
I will
believe it has an expiry on it.
I will hand it to you.
I don't believe it does.
Yeah.
If it's a ritual, right?
I don't think it's
And rituals
it's a
don't
ritual.
activate until it happens.
the thing.
It's like wards. I set up a ward and nothing happens until someone touches it.
Yeah.
After they make contact with it. Yeah, so it's just Vitae that has enchantment
Drugs in
basically
it.
through it. Yeah.
I'll hand the vial to you.
To me or to Irene?
To V.
Yeah.
You'll be able to administer this.
It seems like give it to the Butterhook here, Mike.
Yeah, you made it. You should use it.
Okay, cool.
To be fair. And to make it seem like you're actually here for a reason. Instead of just like, this is my best friend. She's coming into this very official investigation now.
I'm the one who stopped him on the roof.
It's
But-
probably
Yeah.
a friend of work day, God.
It is every single day. You may have stopped him on the roof, but in all technicality, that gives you no reason to be in the
Yeah,
room with
that is
us.
true.
So
I'm not part of a coterie anymore.
there's your reason to be in.
Don't mention the war. It's too soon.
Cool. Try and find him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you make your way downstairs,
Take 'em down.
and Gerard is here. He's currently in torpor,
Mhm.
and you step your way inside.
I can't believe I'm about to do this. Is he bleeding, or has he been cleaned up?
He's been cleaned up
Okay, lovely.
to avoid
But-
anyone, accidentally coming in and seeing someone dead in the club.
True.
Yes. The masquerade and such.
Critias, would you like to wake up Mr. Gerard, please?
Oh, yes. I shall. He
My God, this old man.
bites into his wrist,
The real reason you bring the old man.
feeds a bit of blood to Gerard, who is in his jacket and a different shirt, a baby chorus shirt that they just have lying around, the black with the white across it. And
then I'll signal V to be like, when his eyes open, poor Ish starts fucking touching as well.
as
Fucking tough.
as he sort of wakes up and sort of almost violently Ishtar's touch, you only need to touch them. Make skin contact with them.
Oh.
Yeah, you rub it between your fingers and you just need to touch
It's
them.
good.
In
It's
any way
good.
with that particular
Damn.
nature. And as soon as Gerard almost wakes up and tries to lurch up, Critias's hand just keeps him still, completely unmoving, and he just takes his hand off, licks the wound closed, and just goes, shh. You're all right. And he says some calming phrases in French.
Okay, cool.
After
He does
a few
speak
moments,
French.
and after a few moments, Gerard is still a bit wide-eyed, but you can tell he's on edge. He's probably pretty hungry.
Yeah.
Maybe we should bring him some food.
Maybe you should have something as well.
Yeah, I probably should.
Just run it by Annabelle. It should be fine.
Yeah. I will. I'll go up
Yep.
and get something to drink myself, and then ask
Mm.
Annabelle if I can have get something for old mate.
How is Irene dressed tonight?
None.
Yeah. Sort of knee-length black dress, high collared, probably like a turtleneck style, long sleeves, rosary chain around the belt area of the dress, but very plain.
Mm.
Yeah.
You approach Annabelle, and she just seizes up. Like her entire body sort of goes rigid, and her like chin raises slightly as her eyes sort of just look at your shoes, and she gives you a big smile.
They're 18th century. Come on.
It's vintage.
Yeah.
Irene, how lovely to see you. Welcome.
It's lovely to see you too. Thank you. I am just doing my duties at the moment. We are questioning the fellow who we got from the concert hall the other night.
Yes, we're all quite busy.
Indeed. I was wondering if I could get something for him to eat to calm him down so we can question him with the utmost efficiency.
Yes, of course. Just don't kill anyone, please. I can't afford any more staff accidents.
Okay, we'll make sure not to kill anyone. Thank you.
Lovely.
Enjoy your night.
She quickly turns around and starts
Oh,
yells
right.
at someone, says, "You don't fucking put that there. It goes over there." And as you sort of make your way across,
It's good to know I still have a great effect on people.
Yeah.
make a hunger frenzy check as you feed on someone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, I won't kill anyone. I use brutal feed.
Should be okay. And then what, for hunger?
I'm on 4 hunger.
Yeah.
I got 4 successes.
Yeah, you're fine.
Yeah.
You needed 3.
Okay, great.
You're fully in control, and you can slake 2 hunger safely from someone and grab someone else.
Yep, that's what I'll do.
As time flows by quickly, Gerard has some food, calms down. Critias keeps him still all the while and pushes him off in case anything happens. And everyone is back in the room.
He's been Ishtar's touched.
Oh, I'm
Yes.
doing that now. Bea will
Yeah.
put her fingers in and wipe it across his forehead.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay. So,
will-
yes, ritual
First-
roll.
first, I'm going to roll blood potency, blood of potency to up my blood potency. So this.
Good idea.
A frenzy.
Don't joke. I nearly had a messy critical. So that's 5 successes for blood of potency.
So you go up by 1. If it's a critical, you
Lovely.
get 2.
Cool.
So you're at 2
And
blood
now
potency
I
now,
do-
so you
do
get an
intelligence
extra
blood
dice.
sorcery.
Yes, that's why I did it. So that I rouse. Okay.
Don't forget your power bonus, yeah.
Oh yeah, power bonus as well. Damn.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always forget that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time, if you have blood potency
Literally forget.
1,
2, you get
2.
1 extra.
Oh, is it
dice.
2? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Because
and
I
then-
only upped recently, and it's the first power bonus you get.
Yeah.
Joseph, what's the ritual roll
Um,
again? I forgot.
Intelligence blood sorcery, and it
Okay.
is of the
Yeah.
level, which is 1, I believe, for Ishtar's
The
touch. Or is
difficult,
Ishtar's
it's
3?
2.
It's a level 2.
It's
So
2.
the difficulty, well, this one is versus their composure result.
Yeah.
Ah, got it. Yeah.
I get one. Now I'm gonna rouse so I get the other thing.
And then the
Lovely.
difference, he loses in composure checks. I believe it is.
Against dominate and stuff like that.
Against
Yeah,
anything.
makes sense.
Oh, cool.
For the remaining scene, the victim suffers a dice penalty equal to the margin of the ritual roll on all composure or resolve checks.
Damn.
Damn.
And let's use a willpower as well. Why not?
Yeah.
Love it.
We're
You have a
going
lot of
all out.
special still.
He
Gonna
rolls
be owing
stamina.
a dice.
Stamina resolve. Stamina is
Ooh.
often used to resist blood sorcery. His stamina is resolve. He's not so hungry anymore. Mm-hmm. You need to beat 3 successes.
5. Hell
5
yeah.
successes.
Love
So
it.
he has a -2 on all composure and resolve checks for the rest of the scene.
Oh.
Be this boy's stern English teacher again.
Joseph gets a lovely willpower, delicious willpower.
Yeah.
Reminder, these are special willpowers. You can use them to re-roll anything, including frenzies and such, without spending willpower. And yeah,
Legendary.
can be used in any scenario, even after you've already used a willpower point as well.
Ooh, yeah. Special.
Double
So,
special.
Yeah. I guess we'll get. Well, Critias is like calming him down, all that sort of stuff. Just say, we want to know, first of all, what happened last night, well, not the other night, at the piano hall with the bombs. What was the plan? What was supposed to happen? Who was involved?
Critias does his best to translate. There's a few words like bomb that he's like, what's the modern for this? And he does some sort of weird backwards translation. Gerard sort of corrects him a little bit. And then Gerard explains some things. And Critias just says, something. So you're asking what happened?
Yes.
There was a plan to ignite things to make things better for the Anarchs, which didn't go well, it seems.
No. Who was involved?
He asks Gerard and says, someone had the idea for it, but it seems Gerard acted alone in this. Seems a few people wanted to hit different locations and such, but Gerard went alone. And he doesn't seem to want to tell us names.
What does he know about the list of anarchs that are allowed to be in the city?
Critias sort of looks at you, Joseph. Is this all right that we discuss this amongst these two?
We already know about it.
Irene is a hound, and V is assisting in this investigation.
I've also seen the list. Well, one of the lists.
Ah, well, that changes things, doesn't it? He asks Gerard. Gerard sort of.
Je ne sais pas.
Yeah, Gerard sort of like looks at all of you like he's looking for someone, but he doesn't seem to find them. Leaps forward, fangs out, and Krios just shoves him down with one hand and holds him completely still as he's violently trying to tear at Critias's arm, but he's doing nothing. It's not even pulling at the skin or doing any damage to him. And he keeps, and he says one word, a name that you guys do understand. And that name is Genghis.
Fucking Genghis.
And it is here that I'm going to call a break. We're going to take 5 to 7
I'm
minutes.
raging.
We're gonna kill that guy, I swear. Jesus,
Now-
Genghis.
So
Final
funny.
boss.
Now,
I swear to God.
stick
The
with
first
us
boss is the final boss.
because we'll be back in 5 to 7 minutes as everybody de-stresses from this.
Stops ranting about Genghis.
We'll see you in just a moment.
Jesus.
Everybody, to a continuation of tonight's session, Beginnings of War. Let's jump straight back into the action, shall we? where we find ourselves in underneath the Succubus Club with Gerard and Critias after learning some information.
Yeah.
I'll leave the scene to you guys.
Yeah, why not? While he's frenzying, I will lock eyes with him wherever he is looking and say forget.
And we're gonna
Just
do
want to
we're gonna do a fun little thing that I haven't actually done before.
Awesome.
So, when someone is engaged with someone else, you have to make a check to grab their eye with dominate.
Ooh.
So, let's have. Where is it? It's somewhere in the dominant rules. Yes. Resolve intimidation versus the target's wits
Ooh.
awareness.
That's pretty sexy.
Yeah.
We know that Joseph be good at resolve.
Not so great with intimidation, but hey.
I can stand there with Shadow Cloak if you want me to. Give you an extra dice.
Ooh, I might not need it. I can rouse for more, but I have 3 at the moment, so successes on all me
Let's
dice.
see. 3 is pretty good. Yeah, ties go to the player. So you manage to catch his eye through your simply standing there and making your presence known. It naturally attracts the eye towards you, and you meet his and utter the words, forget.
Okay.
And now there needs to be
Success on the
another
rolls.
contest.
Yeah, it's no
between this one,
negative
doesn't
though,
there?
bro.
He's gonna be mad at you now. Hee hee.
So it is Cloud Memory,
Yes.
Charisma Dominate versus Wits Resolve, and he has a -2 on this check.
Dope. Charisma, my best.
You have to beat a 1.
All right. All right.
You got this.
I can do this.
Can he do it?
4 successes.
Yep, easily.
Hell yeah.
He blinks and sort of looks around, dazed and confused. His fangs are still out. And then again, he turns towards Critias and starts to try to rip through Critias, but Critias just, like a Roman statue, is just immovable and just trying to quiet him down and talk to him in French.
Critias, if you can find out who the person who came up with the idea through this frenzy, that would be very helpful.
He's not making a lot of sense at this point. Doesn't seem like he wants to tell me right now.
Fair. He's fury frenzying because he's fucking.
Just gonna double check something.
Bruja. Oh my god.
What do you do with him?
Yeah, Critias Mr. Bruja Primogen should know something.
He doesn't have Quell the Beast. Yeah, he doesn't have anything that can really help you in this scenario, I'm afraid.
Yeah. And I don't think centering's really going to do anything here.
No.
Well, we have that. The option is yours, Critias, whether you would like to knock him back into torpor or leave him be, but we'll have to come back another day to find out who this other individual is.
Might be best to just stake him and leave him for now.
I guess no, that won't really do anything.
Do you have a stake on you?
I have since like session 2 that I've never used.
Time to use it, I guess.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'll stake him.
Yeah, without any, he is he cannot move at all through Critias's force. So he is one simple stab straight through the chest, piercing through the flesh and the bone, hitting the heart, freezes the entire body in that motion halfway through fury. And Critias lets him go as soon as you've done so.
What are your thoughts on the matter, Critias?
Well, it is most disturbing to see my kin reduced to such rebellious and youthful thoughts. I thought they were wiser than this. But
And pitted against one another as well. Must be very painful.
we all are, it seems. It
You
is.
don't have to be though.
Yes,
Oh,
I would hope so. Perhaps this great change that you're speaking of will change us for the better.
certainly hope so. And then we will have to engage these new thoughts, new ideologies, but not the rebellious kind.
Hmm. Nothing was built through destruction.
But it
The
does
opposite, really.
creates the space for new life.
Hmm. Perhaps.
We may need to call on you again next time we need to question Gerard, if that is okay.
Yes, of course, it is my duty to make sure that the Camarilla is safe. And if this is taking steps towards it, I will do so.
And it does seem to involve your clan.
Yes. And I would like to see them represented well.
How do you propose we represent Genghis?
Huh.
How would you like justice to be handed to him?
What is
Genghis.
your notion of justice, I suppose?
Genghis has never been on my radar. He's not part of the Camarilla. He represents all that I despise that flows through our blood, as Gerard has shown as well. They cannot help
But
it
he
sometimes.
is your kin, regardless.
Perhaps. Whatever he has done, let it be on his own head. He is an adult, and he will deal with the consequences.
I see. So, safe to say we have your permission and blessing to handle him as we see fit.
You do not need my permission or blessing.
I would
You-
like it.
He is still one of your clan, regardless.
You are the Bruja Primogen.
Let this be an important lesson, then, I think, to each one of you. Sometimes in this life, and perhaps the next, you are going to have to do things that you don't agree with so that you may continue living. The Camarilla is based around that fact. And let it be known that I disapprove of destruction. But do your jobs anyway. And take this lesson with you.
I appreciate your opinion, and I take that lesson to heart. Thank you very much.
I will organize one of my students to come and pick me up. Thank
Very
you.
well.
Excellent.
He hobbles his way out, makes his way. And you can hear him having a conversation with Annabelle further down the hallway as he makes his leave. And you're left alone in this moment.
What to do? Can't exactly move on Genghis immediately.
No.
Could tell Tim Roche,
Mm.
That would be
but
bad.
again, he would be prompted to deal with it, which would start conflict between the anarchs. I do see this tied to Gary, and it makes sense, but I don't know if Genghis is also the one pretending to be Damien.
Not sure.
I don't know either.
We could get in a room with him, that would be nice, but he
So
seems
if
to be
Hardest part.
If he'd
especially
stopped,
difficult to pin down these nights.
if he'd stopped chucking away his phone, he might have been easy to find, but no.
Yes. Might be able to organize play a little facade ourselves with Tim Roche to get their connection with the Anarchs. Actually, I take that back. Perhaps we can talk with Hurricane. He's on
Yeah.
the inside, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah, he seems to be the a person who goes through both of it.
And he's amiable, especially with V.
Yeah, he wants in on Black Site and any information he can get.
Not sure if Genghis is one for phones from memory. Might be able to track where he's been and whether he's been in the same spot as Mendoza. I'd very much like to see Mendoza's body. If I can identify the wounds, I've seen Genghis fight.
From what they said last time, it was a drive-by shooting, I think.
Yeah, it was a. They did tell you it was a drive-by, but it was with a baseball bat.
Ah, baseball bat.
Yeah.
Very anarch-esque.
Yes.
Yeah.
To think they thought that was Davy.
Yeah. They
They-
wouldn't know any better, though, would they?
No.
Unfortunately.
Do you want to go and see if Bronwyn has that ability, or?
Yes,
Is
that
there
might
anyone
be.
else we can think of? That we
Yeah,
could
off the
reach
top
out
of
to?
my head, who's got the second best to me, of course, the best Oracle abilities?
Well, there would be, Portia, Annabelle,
Fuck that.
Bronwyn, also Disable as well.
Yeah.
Anyone
that'll
with
be-
Auspex, really, because that is an Auspex ability.
Mm.
Any of the higher
High level
people up.
aspects.
You could
yeah.
probably even ask Khadijah as well.
True.
How would you go about asking Disable, actually, Joseph? As he is a member of your clan, you are the primogen of your clan. You are
Would be simple.
conducting Camarilla business.
Very easy. I've asked him to look into that tongue we found. It's no issue at all. Do I know if Disable has that ability? Considering I've known him for quite some time, have I seen or heard him use that ability?
No, he and the Tremere are very
Blood sorcery
They're-
focused over all space.
that, and they're also not very forward with what they can do. They don't generally show their abilities. They're very subtle and behind the scenes.
Yeah.
with the way
Tremere
that they
being
act.
secretive.
Yeah, exactly.
Legasp.
So
But
it's possible.
Do I have Disable's number? I think I do.
You just need to call the university chantry.
Yeah, I think just give me one moment. I'll call his office.
Mm-hmm.
Or the-
As there is a disabled building, you can call the building,
Yeah.
and after a few moments and getting through the appropriate ghouls and such,
Yeah.
he picks up the phone and says, Primogen Joseph, what can I do for you this fine night?
Tells me that this line's nice and secure.
It's true.
Disable. I'm on an investigation. Pleasure to hear from you, though. I was wondering if, and I'm just going to say some roundabout way to be like, is there any way that you could touch a piece of evidence and tell me some information about it? As I myself lack the ability.
To look beyond what we originally know just by touching an object.
Mhm.
Haven't done it for some time, but I can.
Lovely. I'll be bringing some evidence over, if you'd be so kind.
Of course. As is my duty to the Camarilla.
I will see you soon. Thank you.
Head back to the university. We could probably
Yeah,
drop
let's
off
go.
Critias.
Hey.
We
Like
zoom
Critias.
right back.
Like,
Yeah,
actually,
hey,
Critias, we're
Critias,
headed there.
We're
Come
taking
with
you back.
Yeah. Take
us. It would be
Critias
rude
back
to leave you there.
to the
Yeah.
university, dropping him off, and he makes his way back inside, back to his work, and we head into the chantry, where a few of the
Joseph
figures.
heads into the train.
Yes, Joseph heads into the
Joseph heads
Last
into the
time V
chantry.
went in there, it was a stressful time.
As far as
What
everyone
is-
knows, B's never been in the chantry. It's fine.
What is Irene and V doing in the meantime?
Good question.
What do you think?
I might. Do you have anything you want to do here?
The university? Not that I can think of.
Did this is a random piece of investigative thing that I just
We love.
remembered. Did Tally or anyone ever tell me the name of that baby La Sombra we chased from the university ages and ages ago?
Yes, you would have gotten their name, absolutely.
Yeah.
You can go visit your touchstone fee. Even just a hello.
Yeah.
What do I want to do at this university? Stay clear of the one person who reminds me of my humanity.
That is a
I
vibe. I relate.
Their name was Celia.
Celia.
Or that's all you could get. Might not be a full name, but it is Celia.
Okay. In that case, what I might do is go to the library and see if she pops up in any records or anything like that.
I'll do your computer search for you then.
Yes. If we can see where she's from, what she was doing, anything.
If she's in the student user base.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll get intelligence investigation or intelligence technology. And Joseph, you make your way up through the chantry, past all the sections, up to DeSable's office, where the gargoyle stands behind him, ever vigilant and unmoving. And he simply is marking off some reports, it seems, of students and such. As he's marking them off, he sees you enter, nods to you, finishes his work, places it to the side, and says, "What can I do for you, Primogen Joseph?"
I have some evidence, almost laughable, if when you see it, I put the note down in front of him. Would you ever imagine Damien doing something like that?
Yes, his handwriting isn't at all like that.
Who signs off on a threat like that?
Either someone very dim-witted or not certain someone.
Yes.
This
My
is
thoughts exactly.
what you want me to look into.
Very much so.
Very well. All right. So for Spirit's Touch, I believe the ability is called
Yes.
an Auspex ability.
Yeah.
Level 4, Intelligence and Auspex. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes versus the difficulty depending on the information sought. What information are you looking for through this?
What can?
Berta?
So what it tells you is so gleaming the emotional state of the user of a murder weapon used a few days before is difficulty 3, but sensing the surroundings in which a 300-year-old letter was written approaches difficulty 6 or higher. Each point of margin on the roll allows the user to sense roughly one additional previous handler instead of circumstances counting backwards.
The creator of the letter, like who wrote it?
Yeah.
Do you want? He's got 6 successes. So he can give you a general.
Like who wrote it, and then possibly like not the intent, maybe, but like the emotions behind it. Is it like a smug, like, or is it like, fuck, I don't want to do this? Yeah.
DeSable simply touches it. He sort of observes it back and forth, and just begins spurting out information. Just says it was written by a man in a small sort of like 7-Eleven place by the side on one of the walls. It was quickly written with some sort of black texture or some kind, and with fairly nice handwriting. And they were wearing a cloak. The person behind the counter was a bit out of it. They had burn marks across their body. They were intrigued They were eager, interested in what might happen.
Excellent. That tells
Yes.
us who. Hmm.
Is
They'll
that what you are after?
Yes, it tells me who wrote this, but now I need to find this individual, and it's tough because I haven't seen his face, which I can't use my ritual to find him in that case. Hmm. Do you have any way of tracking people down, even if you haven't seen their face?
Not within my capabilities. Perhaps
Hmm.
my sire would have been able to, but not myself.
Yes. That's fine. Did you discover anything about the tongue since I've been gone?
It seems to be enchanted with some sort of magic, and it is unable to be killed from what we can tell. We've vivisected it, and it simply put itself back together and continued to crawl. But it isn't very strong.
Hmm.
We're assuming
Fascinating.
we're assuming it's somewhere from the east is where it's from, but
Uh-huh.
we're not sure exactly what it does or why it does what it does, but we're pushing up experiments a bit further now. Now
Yes.
knowing that it will not be destroyed so easily.
I think a version of possession is what I witnessed in
Mm.
some way. So
Mm.
without pushing the boundaries of ethics too hard, that may be the next investigation.
Perhaps we will bring Mr. Bartleby in and see what happens to him.
Be very careful.
Well, once I've got these reports done.
Yes. I have a question about a topic I'm not fully aware of that I want your opinion on. It's about gargoyles.
What about them?
I don't know a great deal about them, and I was speaking to Gangrel, and they said that it's like a slight against their clan or some kind of violation.
Well, yes, the records. There isn't much left of them, but from what my sire told me, they are sort of turns and looks towards the gargoyle behind him. They are remnants or disfigurations of other clans turned to stone, enhanced with blood sorcery, and bent towards the will of the Tremere. There was a great battle when our clan was starting up between clans and ourselves. And that violence and hatred has never really ceased, but has died down slowly as we've sided with other clans.
Right. I don't think anyone knows how to make them anymore. Is that right?
Well, even if we could, the gargoyles that have freed themselves from our clan's grasp, I should say, would not take kindly to it. They have formed their
Oh.
own bloodline, and
Oh.
some of them have rebelled against their masters. Hence why we do not create them any further. We do not need more enemies.
No, we certainly don't. Thank you very much. That makes me understand a few more things.
Always happy
Thank
to
you.
further the grasp and reach of knowledge.
As am I. Look after yourself. Good luck with the reports. And keep an eye out for Penelope White. She may be joining us soon.
Wonderful. We are always happy to welcome more into our ranks.
Of course. And I will head out.
He bids you adieu. In the meantime, Irene and V, how many successes?
Oh no.
6 messy critical.
Messy critical. Okay.
And I roused, so I got hungrier as well.
Oh,
So
boingo,
We
we
are
vibing. I'm only
standing this
3,
Odo Hakim energy.
but we vibe.
Okay.
Love
So
it, love it, love it.
what happens in this moment
Uh.
is V, you're checking and looking up the name Celia, and what comes up is you can tell this is a fake name. It's not Celia, it's short for something. And when you check it against a lot of the Celias and check all their photos and things, you're going through going, all these people have photos. This is someone of Irene's clan because they could not use the computer earlier. They would not have a photo. You find the exact one that doesn't have a photo. Araceli Rivera is their name.
Okay.
Araceli Rivera. And there was a report attached to the name. 3 students were found dead in Araceli Rivera's like student housing unit a couple of months ago, and Aricella has been on the run ever since. They haven't found her, and she's still missing up until this day. And as you're looking this up and absorbing this information, Irene, you're sort of making your way through and trying to check physical records and things, and that's when you sort of see the dark figure of just shadow sort of looming over V's shoulder right next to her face, just looking at the screen at the same time as she is. And just standing there, completely enveloped in darkness, not affecting the technology around them.
Huh. Last time we dealt with this, we all got torpored and taken into a basement.
Yep.
Round 2.
I try to get V's attention from across the room.
No, I think I found it, Irene. I think I found some information. She sees like one of the symbols and went, yeah, cool. and, and like signs like, should I react? Or should I act like everything's normal?
As you observe and actually look, like you're sort of looking at the computer screen, at the things on the computer screen. When you change your eye focus to the reflection, you see just 2 big sort of white eyes through darkness looking at you. And when you turn, there's nothing there by your side.
Oh my god.
Perhaps a trick of the light, or Irene's playing tricks on you, but that's very unlike her. You're probably just
Just
tired.
a little bit of stitch and strap between friends.
God.
We will finish writing down some of the notes and turn off the computer. Walk over to Irene. They still around? Because I can't see them.
No, they just flickered away as soon as you looked, of course.
Do you know who that was?
No, but it reminded me so much of when we chased her last time we saw her, and that thing just completely annihilated all of us, whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, her name is Raceli Rivera.
Right.
Probably around the same time that all of that happened, 3 students were found dead in her dorm. And she's been missing ever since.
Sounds about right.
Understandably.
I wonder who brought her here, who sired her, who... I didn't think there were that many of us in this city. I thought that Sierra, Tally, and I are the only ones, and the rabbi, but yeah.
And you got rid of the other one.
The other one, yeah, we got rid of him. So unless it's something to do with Lancaster, but I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way that there's one of us skulking around the corners of this town and
Abandon
doing their own thing.
children to cause a ruckus.
Tends to be the way it goes. I know Telly was looking around for her, but even she slipped through his fingers, which is very unlike him. Not to know things that go on, especially things about us.
Mm.
I don't know, being here sort of reminded me of that, but maybe it's best if we just let it be. I don't know.
Well, as long as she's not leaving a trail of bodies behind her, it should be okay. But
Maybe those dorm room unfortunates are the only ones. Maybe not, but as soon as we know for sure, who knows really? Is there anything else you wanted to do here while we were here?
Might look up on some technology stuff before we hit the old black site. Look for different technology of thermal detection and that kind of stuff. Really bugs me that they can see me without seeing me.
Yeah, I understand that. That's a good idea. I'm in way of my head with all of those things that they can do, so that'd be good.
Well, the more equipped we are to focus on all this, the more information I gather on their technology and stuff, the better I can equip you guys.
Yes, and I feel like it's drawing closer, at least a little bit, now that we have people looking into it more actively.
Yeah, people willing to help as well.
Khadijah, yes.
Khadijah, Hurricane's willing to do stuff. We've got people behind us for once.
I know, it's a strange feeling.
We'll have all the hounds, probably.
Yeah, it's so strange that I don't even know if I like it. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Doing some studies in the meantime. And I think we'll do that check a bit later. And we'll regroup at this point. Our group meeting back outside by the cafe in the snow. Still has a few students
Very minor.
around.
Is even Alec in the chantry?
They would be studying at this time, yes.
It would just be a very quick, like, pop my head in and just like, hey guys, heading out. Just good to see ya.
Astrology's great. Remember that.
Yeah. I love being together, not divided by half.
Team Tremere.
Yeah.
One girl.
I like you. You like me. Just a reminder. Goodbye. Very minor, but that, yeah, we'll reconvene. Not Genghis pretending to be Damien. 1IK.
Oh God, I don't know if that's. No, that feels worse somehow.
Yes. He seems more like the ringleader, and I very much believe that Genghis did not hand the list in. Genghis was handed the list and then handed it in. There was an intrigue behind these actions. This 1IK wants to know what will happen, wants to see how things will react.
Well, it's good to know he does his own dirty work, because that will make him easier to find, in a sense.
It's interesting that it was a drive-by with a baseball bat, and then the note was placed on Mendoza's body.
Yeah, that did cross my mind.
Logistically.
You don't usually throw out a thing, and you can't sticky tape it to a baseball bat, but have it get off that way. So someone had to come back and leave it. So perhaps he didn't do the
actual killing, but he left the note. That makes sense because he wrote it very quickly in 7-Eleven near the area, it seemed.
And if he has the ability to, send a wolf places without ever being seen by anyone until it's too late, it's probably good at being sneaky.
Yeah.
I don't know how to find him though, so hopefully Tim Roche and his people can get us that connection.
Let's hope so.
Mm,
Seems like they are connected now, at least. So
yeah.
They are under the banner of the Anarchs, and that may just be their undoing.
well, yeah, that's right. Especially since they're all factionalized and stuff.
However,
Not as good as they think.
Maxwell did ask us not to engage with the Nihilists, or not to kill them anyway.
Yeah, he asked us not to kill them.
Yes, we can still take him in. I think it may be. I
Do we
don't
need
know
to
how
do what
old.
Maxwell says, though?
No, I
Yeah,
just.
how long are we gonna keep up this facade?
I think 1AK is the main ringleader here in Chicago, the main actor.
Feels like it.
Can I pull out the letter? Oh no, we pinned it to the wall. How much does the letter that says Anarchs, get out, and the letter we received today match up?
That's a good question. I'll get a intelligence craft.
I have points in craft.
Yeah, I'm glad you're making this.
Yes, you are the person to make this.
Lovely, 4 successes.
4 successes. The particular loops in the L's and such very similar.
Oh,
Very, very similar. Nearly identical.
conspiracy theory
One-
coming.
One is slower. One is
More
faster.
deliberate.
The one that's like hastily scribbled by the 7-Eleven is obviously like similar handwriting, but it's very quickly written.
Yeah. Aspects of it are similar. Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So get in the car. Let's head to Blue Velvet.
Do you need to see Mel Davis before we do that?
Yeah, you had a call with her.
Yes, I should.
We should do that first, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
Right.
guessing you don't want us along, or
You can wait in
That,
the car.
yeah, that'd be best, I think.
Cool.
Cool. I will text Mel Davis and say on my way to the docks, and then we'll get a going.
Okay. Some time passes as we drive east towards the docks, finding ourselves in a nice little locale by sort of a fishing area, sort of a bit further north from the hive, a bit out of it, closer towards Gangrel territory. And you can see her in a hoodie just standing off by one of these sort of docks. There's a old man sort of on one of the docks, sort of a bit further to the north. Irene, you immediately recognize the rabbi from this distance. He's sinking his legs into the water, standing fishing,
Love him.
Jesus.
just relaxing in bathing in the darkness
Shalem.
around.
yeah,
Davis.
Shalyn.
And
I'll
yes,
park
Mike.
away, walk over, try and cover myself a bit as well, I guess.
Yeah, she's a short woman with bright purple hair and purple lipstick and deep brown eyes, olive skin, sort of hands in her hoodie, just nods at you when you arrive. Hello, Joseph.
Hello, Mel Davis. It's good to see you. I wished we could talk on nicer terms, but why were you there? Why were you at the event?
I was trying to stop Gerard from making a mistake.
I can't really be like, is she telling the truth?
You can.
Is
you
she
can make
being
a,
genuine?
You
Do
can
an
make a wits insight check with detect lies as a specialty, if you have it.
It's a thing. It's
That's
a
a
thing.
cool thing. Is it close enough that I could heighten senses to overhear this conversation?
There are no waves.
that.
It's still so if you make a wits awareness
Sure.
check with and add your specs to that as well.
Look at
I think
these
it's a bestial
guys.
failure.
Oh no.
Joseph, come on, man.
I think it's a bestial. I got 1 success and I got 2 ones on my hunger dice.
There's
Oh,
no
boy.
set difficulty on these checks. Since you're not competing with anything.
Okay.
Well, I guess she'd have to resist roll, wouldn't she?
Is she?
She'd have to do composure and subterfuge if she was trying to
Yeah.
lie. I will say that
I got one success.
yeah, you can't tell at all, and it kind of puts you on edge. The fact that you can't tell.
Yeah,
You
I
haven't
think
spoken. Yeah, you haven't spoken to her in such a
don't
long time
know
that you
her.
almost feel disconnected in this moment, and that is unnerving for you.
Yeah, his whole thing is about connection, and she's the one that he was built to serve, and he can't even tell if she's being genuine or not.
Mm.
And I think he's like, is that true?
Before she answers, V,
Yeah.
you can hear everything that's being
Yeah.
said.
Nice.
Because Irene's just sitting there completely like silent as per usual.
If Irene wants, V will just be like saying exactly what's happening so that Irene
Oh,
can
yeah.
also be in on it. So you have some.
Mel Davis just nods and she says, "This wasn't my idea. Gerard is too. It's a fire inside Gerard that I don't agree with."
Who? Do you know who planned it? Gerard told us there was someone who came up with it. And if I can't confirm that there was someone else, it looks like it was you.
I can't tell you.
Why?
Because you're.
Don't say what you're about to say. Don't you dare insinuate that my position changes who I am and why. Was it you? Because if you can't answer, it's going to be you. I need to find a way to not have it be you.
I should have died for the cause a long time ago. What's the difference that it's now for something I believe in? And you're right. It does change your station now. It does change everything about what we're doing. What you are now is against what we believe in. And the fact that you are perpetuating it is troublesome. I understand that you're trying to do the best for the city and the people in the city, but the best for the people in this city isn't the best for us in this way.
What is the best for you?
Not having the Camarilla keeping us down.
So you would have anarchs run Chicago?
No. I don't think that's best for Chicago either.
Exactly. It needs to be we've already spoken about it's about change and something new.
Then we need to be new. We need to be that new thing. But we can't.
Yes. Why?
Because of where we are now. Because of where you are now, where I am now, where all of us are now. It's very clear that Chicago and its kindred don't want to be something else.
They're not going to get a say in it. It's coming already. Everything will be destroyed, and it's what comes out on the other side. And if you are so steadhardy standing by the anarchs, you're not finding a middle ground. You're not finding balance. You are siding with the anarchs.
It's the only way to
it's not
the scales for balance. It is. Have you seen how out of touch these scales are? How much little balance there is in this city?
I'm trying to tip it.
There is a list, Joseph, of names of people who can't get killed in the anarchs. Do you think my name's on that list? Do you think your name would be on that list?
Do I know if she's on the list?
Her name is
She
not.
is on the... Oh.
Is not on the list.
Right.
Not. Killer.
Like, yes, that is a problem. The list is a problem, and the fact that those decisions can be made are bad, but change can happen. Destroying a building full of people is not going to change the scale. It's going to tip it further the other way because of backlash. You need to find, I'm finding you the middle way so that we can tip the scales back to balance and come together. When everything goes to shit, then in the middle, something new will be made. But you need to find the middle way because you are off balance.
That is exactly what every Camarilla tells us. That we're off balance. That the tower is the way.
It's not the tower. It's me. If you can only see me as a Camarilla, how on earth are you meant to find balance if you can't even see me as a person? As a kindred who just wants better in this world, and you have pigeonholed me and I can't help you if you won't call on help.
Pigeonholed yourself with this decision, Joseph. You didn't have to join them. You didn't have to say yes. You didn't have to go for that position.
It's how I make change.
I understand that. You want to make better with what you have, but...
No, I want to make better for all of the kindred across the board.
What's next then?
I am solving the injustice going on in the Anarchs. I'm trying to find who made this list and bring them justice. I'm trying to have the list removed because it is a problem. I'm trying to get the prince to recognize that the Anarchs are not the problem. He does not want them to be a problem. I am trying to balance it out that the Anarchs are being very aggressive right now.
Why do you think he doesn't want us to be a problem?
Because he doesn't want conflict in his city.
Because it threatens his power, Joseph. He's getting you to do all his dirty work so he can stay sitting up there. That's what the fucking Ventru do. They sit on the throne and they tell you what to do. And you're doing it. Without a second thought. I don't know what else to tell you. They've done this for hundreds of years. The Camarilla is promising you a future that isn't going to happen anytime soon. It's going to be 600, 700 years in the future, and they say, don't worry, the promised future is still coming, while they sit on the throne and take all the blood for themselves. And then something's going to burst down the door, and we're all going to suffer for it. I can't... As much as I hate what Gerard was going to do, at least it's pushing something. I don't think it's the way to go about it, but it's pushing something, and it's making things happen now.
I need guidance from you.
I would take it all down. Every last bit of it.
On both sides?
On every side. We have to find a common ground between all of us. Something that everyone can believe in and focus with. No. An enemy.
The Inquisition has existed for years and it still created division.
Recently, it's become something different. It's a chimera that has changed into a dragon or something far more dangerous. And appealing to the nature of the Camarilla is not going to get that to happen. Appealing to the Anarchs is going to make something happen.
Do you think turning all of Kindred in Chicago against the Second Inquisition at Blackside 24, do you think that that would do something?
It's definitely a start.
It's all I need is a start, because the reason I've been, in your eyes, acting towards the Camarilla for so long is because they're the only ones that talk to me. I've tried to engage with Anita and now I can't anymore. I don't hear from you, and so I don't know. How am I meant to know if I'm not spoken to?
Anita doesn't.
So now I have a start, and now I will do it. Because of what you want.
Don't listen to Anita. Anything she says.
She.
She might as well be Camarilla.
That's why I'm listening to you. I'm a kindred because of you.
That hurts to hear.
And it hurts when I was made to serve you, and then you denounce me.
I'm denouncing you so that you can take your own path, Joseph. I think we
I
should
don't
have
want
this
it.
choice.
I want what you need to happen.
Then we make a start. We start with this.
Turn the anarchs, turn the camp. That's why I'm in this position, because I can serve here, you can serve there, so that we can turn them collectively towards this. For now, this is not the end, this is the beginning.
All right.
Okay. What do you know about One-Eye K? Because he is causing strife.
That doesn't mean anything to me.
Right. There is an individual, I believe he identifies as an anarch. He's a very old venturer, I think. And he is pretending to be Damien, killing Thin Bloods, turning Tim Roche and his gang into aggressive mobsters, basically. He is the one that organized the list. He is the one stirring up all of this trouble. If we want our plan to work, he needs to be removed. Tell the anarchs that, tell whoever you need, because I think Genghis works for him.
I mean, I'll try, but I'll try.
That's all we can do. I'm going to try. You're going to try. That's it.
All right.
Thank you for meeting me.
Yeah. Just be careful. If anyone sees us talking like this, you're in a lot of trouble.
I'm very aware. Please look after yourself, and we'll meet again when things change, hopefully.
The two of you bid yourselves adieu and regroup at the car.
How did it go? Actually, I heard all of it. But it was more of a emotional support.
It's bad.
Yeah.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Very, very bad. That's what being on your own does.
Do you really mean that you wish you don't have your own path? Did you
No,
really
I've
mean that?
never had one. I just do what I've been told by the people I've been told, and then I react how I choose to react in that instance. My whole middle way, the whole balance ideal came from Mel Davis. That's why Golconda came so easily.
What do you want, though?
I want...
Not what she wants, not what your sire wants. You don't want what they want. What do you want?
I don't want to think about it. Because if I think about it, I'm going to get distracted.
That's not a bad thing.
It is. Do you know how much that we have to deal with right now? I have to be focused. But if you want my honest answer, the bottom of my heart, what I truly want is to see my husband again. But I can't.
Yeah.
I would like to see the sun. I would like to watch him burn. I would like to bathe myself in his ash. I would like to burn his home down. I would like to... I just don't want to think about it.
Fair enough, but those things aren't distractions from anything.
They are.
What you want is never a distraction from anything, regardless of what you think.
Maybe.
Ultimately, Joseph, it is your life on life. And whether you serve it for people or not, you've got to realize that you're the one constant in your life.
No. No. If I'm the only constant, that means that's bad.
Why?
Because there's nothing there. There's just nothing. It's
So?
I don't know how to put this into words. It's just a man was walking home from work and he died. And that is the only person that I remember really being me. And everything from then on has been Tremere, Mel Davis, Eric Berg.
I spent a lot of time thinking about, or trying not to think about, people that I've lost, people that I was forced to get rid of, even though I didn't want to. And as much as you want to cling to those who make it easier in the moment, it doesn't last forever, and when it goes away, it's so much worse. And it does go away as much as you don't want it to. You've seen
it. There'll always be someone.
Yes.
Absolutely.
But they don't matter as much as you do. I'm sorry, but if you are the only selfless being in the entire world, which I know you're not, even though you pretend to be, you pretend so hard that you start to believe it yourself, then you're just going to end up wasting away in an entirely different way to the way that you think the rest of us do, but it ends the same.
I always think so far into the future. I plan and try to solve everything. But in all honesty, I don't actually see myself lasting that long just because of this service to other people. So I hadn't actually thought about it.
So if you're too much of a doormat, you'll fade.
You've watched me stop trying to be a doormat.
And you've done a bloody good job of it. So imagine if
Yeah.
you stopped thinking that you were one properly.
Perhaps. It's going to take time, I guess. But this talk with Mel Davis, I think it was meant to have strengthened my resolve. But instead, it's done the opposite. I saw how weak and scared she was, and she was just trying to blame something instead of aiming for something much larger than her. And I just realized that I'd surpassed her. And it's so scary that I have to be in charge of myself because I am the greatest tool I've known. And how do I wield a tool of my own crafting?
However you want.
Yeah.
I don't know what I want. Take that chisel to some, but revenge is no way to live. I just want to spend the rest of my life having these stupid kindred stop fucking trying to kill each other because one of them has a bigger dick. It's fucking ridiculous. Children, ancient children.
Yeah.
We're all still people when it comes
God.
down to it.
That's what I've been saying this whole fucking time, and they're just.
Well, let's just.
It just
deal with
feels
the
like another
noise.
loss. It feels like I've lost
I
Mel
get that.
Davis because she feels
Lost
like
to
she's
herself.
become this extreme. She's with
A
thought she was
zealot
meant.
to her own ideas.
Exactly. And it's just sad. It's just sad.
Yeah.
Sick of
It's
being
sad
sad.
for her, but not sad for you.
I'm going to text Eric those Ghoul and just be like, how are things? Yeah, just how are things?
Simple response. Still out, healing nicely.
At this point with Eric though, conscious Mel Davis doing what she thinks is right, it just feels like this is the most isolated I've ever felt. Even more so than 2008.
Well, we're not going anywhere.
Definitely not. Far too deep into all of this ridiculousness that is Chicago.
I think there's a park around here somewhere. And I'm just going to park somewhere that looks a little more pleasant to look at and then just pull over.
Why?
I just don't want to be near that lake.
Yeah, that's fair. The thing is,
Turns out these wants are easier to please than I thought.
How's your side doing?
Healing, but still out. That's why it feels so. I'm very good at lying to myself. And I'm still believing the lie that she's gone, even though she's not. It hurts a lot.
would you like a distraction? I know we've just been talking about trying not to distract ourselves, but
What do you have in mind?
what else did we have on our list?
Bronwyn?
Yeah, you fill
You
up.
go to
But
Bronwyn's.
Yeah, I can.
She's a breath of fresh air a little bit.
And we have some actual answers now.
Indeed.
Yep.
We'll start driving.
Okay. After a few minutes driving through the snow through Chicago into the Hive, you arrive outside at Blue Velvet, which is a bit more popular than the Succubus Club, considering it is still open, and it is a nice haven away from the cold, from the snow. And there's some beautiful melodic jazz playing from inside. You can hear sort of an there's a woman, a saxophone player, a pianist, and a drummer, and they seem to be improvising. She's not saying any particular words. She's simply improvising the notes as they're playing through, and it sort of wafts out into the open air outside and sort of fills the air around you with this harmonious
Jazz?
rhythm of almost like the suddenness of the unlives you've been living this entire time, and how much you've had to improvise over all these things seems very poignant at this time. As you step inside, it's warmer. There's a few people around having cocktails and small drinks, relaxing back, just listening to the music. And as you step inside, they finish up their first thing. Everyone applauds, and they begin their next set as you step inside. I imagine you're heading straight downstairs.
That will give the usual here to see Bronwyn. They'll let us know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They've got to recognize us by this point. We've been coming so often.
You head downstairs. Actually, sorry. This time you'll be asked to wait upstairs in one of the corner booths a bit further away from everybody else. And after a few minutes pass, Bronwyn makes her way up. She's wearing business pants, and business sort of suit and white shirt underneath. And she's wiping, as she's coming out of the back room, she's wiping some blood off of the side of her mouth. Gives a general smile to everyone she passes by, checks how everybody's drinks are going, if they need anything else. And by the time she makes her way over, she has someone else's drink in her hand that she has politely taken off of them and given them some more. And she sits down in front of herself underneath a napkin and just sits at the edge of the booth in front of you all, turns towards the stage. Wasn't expecting to see any of you here tonight.
You look lovely, Bronwyn.
Thank you. It's just business as usual.
Well, we're here for just that.
Fantastic.
We found out who's been writing your letters.
Indeed.
Is that right?
Name 1IK, ring a bell.
Yes, that
Scarred old entry.
Kindred. That does explain some things about what I've been hearing.
Sent us a threat.
Is that right?
Yes, a Shakespearean threat.
Sounds like, as per usual, this group has been digging into things they should not. How exciting.
They normally just find us, especially in this case.
So I
Yes.
hear.
But we can't find him.
Right. A lot of the gangs around Chicago are involved with this 1IK that you speak of. Seems like they report to them, whoever they are, this Kindred, this Ventru, you say. Some sort of underground kingpin, I suppose, is what you would call them.
Yes, dealing in
Yeah.
drugs.
Always thought they were just some, small caitiff or something, just pretending to be bigger than they actually are, but...
Your lover. Also, they are the unknown middle person that we were talking about last time. The one that
Yes.
was pretending to be Damien. The one involved with the list.
What would they have to gain for this?
All I know is that they are curious about what's going on and may be connected to Dee and Gary.
It's pretty much certain that he is connected to
Yeah.
the one in Gary.
Technically, Gerard said that Genghis handed the list in, but I think that Genghis was handed the list by this 1IK.
Genghis was the messenger, essentially.
It does seem like Genghis to see the red cape and charge towards it. This raises a lot more questions than it does answer anything.
I know.
Mainly why? And why me?
Yeah. You haven't met. He's got a burnt face.
I would remember them if I did.
It's definitely to create chaos within Chicago. The love letters, I'm not sure. Probably to throw you off balance, have these sorts of secrets to distracted to really hand out the required information to keep everyone standing.
Perhaps.
Just a guess.
I'm
What's
not
on your
sure.
mind?
Hmm?
You look preoccupied by something.
Yes. I've just been having a lot of strange visitors lately into my bar. Not sure why. Not sure who they're
Strange.
after.
How?
They've never been here before.
Unwelcome.
Anna,
I couldn't tell you. They came in, they ordered a drink, sat there as if waiting for someone, and then left.
Mm. That's odd.
curious.
What did they look like?
Young woman. Seemed to be very well dressed with a tight black dress.
Oh,
She had short bob cut black hair, gold necklace of some kind, black high heels.
party,
Huh,
Not sure.
faith, and all that.
maybe.
Hmm.
That's my guess. Hmm. Well,
Does that ring
probably
a bell?
people in Chicago. There's a lot of them.
I'll get V to make a wits and investigation.
Yeah.
Five messy critical.
Hey, messy
you
crit.
Oi, 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 oi.
Vibing.
What is your hunger at right now?
3.
3. Okay. We'll just roll a d10 then for this scenario.
That's a 10.
A 10 is your clan compulsion, as per usual.
Oh yeah.
Time to punish someone for.
V's about to get judgy real quick.
Oh god.
It makes a lot of sense, V, as you succeed critically on this. This is the description of the woman who you talked to way back when for the web of knives.
Oh.
And that puts you on edge. The fact that they are returning back here. Are they looking for you? Are they looking for someone you know?
Mm.
Are they looking for Bronwyn? What are they doing?
Gross.
It's almost like you gave them a location or something.
Oh.
Who could say? Who could say?
Hmm.
Yes, there are lots of people in Chicago. Probably traveled from out of town. Do you think it's a threat?
I doubt it. They just seem to wait and then leave.
Mm.
They haven't done
Perhaps they
anything.
were enjoying the music.
Perhaps so. I hope that's all it is.
Likely. Best have faith in people sometimes.
Yeah.
A lot of strangers come and go through these parts, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we need to try and find this one IK. Can you help? Or
I can.
if I can get some kind of image or see his face, it's basically game over.
And that's the tough part is people don't, from what I hear, they don't really talk to him. They talk
He's always wearing
through
a
others.
cloak, and it's very hard to see.
It's very
We've seen
camera
him.
shy.
He knows what he's doing.
Well, the most I can do is give you contact with the Blue Bloods or with the Capone gang and see if you can
Ugh.
make some things shake out of that tree.
As unpleasant as it would be, it'd probably be the best way to go about it.
You actually have
Did we
Tim
get
Roche on it.
spotted when we kidnapped back Felix? Did any of them see us, or do they only know
Felix.
Felix?
Yes,
There were
because
two dead people, but they
what's her
didn't know it
name
was
walked
us.
out.
The
Alexis
dead people
walked
never
out
get to
with
see
him.
it.
Yeah,
So Alexis is she's the
Mhm.
only one.
I would rather not get in with them again. So we'll see what Tim Roche can pull up.
Okay.
But if you have connections that aren't too bad,
That's
Not
all
sure
I
if
can really do is give you contacts with the gangs and then sort of try to wiggle your way through all of that.
the
Probably have-
circulatory system be in that portion of the city.
My
Do you service it?
system is all over the place.
Hmm.
Sometimes out of my control a little bit, but I do my
Mm.
best to rein it in.
Mhm.
We serve all types, whoever need it, as long as they're paying.
Maybe more connected to the attack on your thing than you think.
I would certainly hope not. That
Mhm.
was a blow to all kindred.
Yes, and there may be another.
Which potentially, because of what we found out in Gary, could have been also orchestrated by this guy.
Yes, that's my thoughts. And if he now knows that we're onto him,
Yes.
Which he does. He sent us a lovely little threat.
he might start lashing out, especially at perhaps the one he wants to protect most.
What exactly are you implying, Joseph?
You. He
He's-
seems very enamored by you and he hit your business. So I fear that he may have some kind of odd fascination with you.
Hmm.
Right.
If he's out there,
Not that it's pleasant in any way, but
It's
let's be frank.
well,
Mhm.
it's not much of a bother if I'm being honest. I've had enough people at my throat for knowing dirt on them for many years. This is just another on the pile.
Mhm.
It's the fact that they are so consistent with it that is most disturbing.
Mhm. Know who it is. Yes, we'll just have to try and find connections so you can reach out with whoever you know.
I can put out some feelers, but it is
That's all
putting
we can do.
people's lives at risk, though.
Mhm.
So is just
As
waiting
would a-
around and hoping something to happen.
As would a sect will.
Yes.
Well, consider it done. I'll do my best.
That's all we can do. Thank you.
Thanks.
As will we, of course.
Mhm.
I
Is
think that's about it,
Yes,
really.
well,
We just wanted to tell you that we solved the mystery.
well, I guess enjoy the music and have a drink on me
course.
then.
Thank you very much.
She stands up, sort of does a wave to the bartender. After some
Yeah.
time, you get these sort of goblets that are protected on all sides from leering eyes, full of blood, that make their way over towards you.
Delicious.
You sit there for a moment, just drinking them down and enjoying the jazz
Yeah.
music that flows through this bar.
Anna's so tasteful. I love her.
Some deep breaths in this lovely place.
Yeah.
Moment of respite.
Yeah.
Indeed.
If you have blood potency
Mm.
1, you can take a single dot. If you have blood potency 2, this will not be enough to satiate you, I'm afraid.
Love to see it.
Bluffin's 3 gang just like
It does
You
absolutely.
feel pain, hunger. So beautiful. Yeah. Mm.
I'm drinking this because I love Bronwyn. That's the only reason.
It's
Like
relaxing.
it tastes like water, but it's fine.
It's good. It's just so cool. I'll drink it anyway.
Do we have any
Are
other...
we are we over, like, can we see from up here like the rest of the bar, or do we have to go
You're
downstairs?
in,
I'm
so
a
you're
little
on the
bit.
first floor.
Oh, it's still on the first-
There's
oh, yeah,
no
cool.
up second floor in this
Cool.
area. It's all first floor. So you're actually in a booth on the far side alone in an
Okay.
angle that you can see across the whole thing.
Yeah, V's gonna try and scan the room to see if that lady is here currently.
Yes, you can certainly make a I'll let you either do wits awareness or wits insight while Bronwyn was there while she was talking, so it's your choice of either or.
Of
Same amount of dice.
Your choice
for that.
then.
Let's do insight.
How many
That's
dots
fun.
and intimidation do you have, Irene?
3.
Cool.
Why?
I'm
not trying to be
think-
intimidating.
No. We'll handle these things.
3 successes.
Possible bestial.
It's
But
not a
yeah.
big still failure. As you
Cool.
observe Bronwyn, her eyes sort of make her way over to another corner, and that's when you see her. She is there. She's
Oh
up
God.
by the front, so not the exact front where the tables are, but just one table behind, and she's sitting up close, listening very closely to the music, and her eyes never waver from the band in front, steadfast.
Mm.
And as Bronwyn leaves, she's still there. Bronwyn checks if she wants any other drinks. She shakes her head politely, gives her a smile, shows that she still has some left. She does not touch the drink at all.
Something caught your attention, V.
Yeah. Do you remember ages ago when I said that I was approached by one of the member of the organization that I could not name because it
Yes.
doesn't exist? That's
Yes.
mm-hmm.
And how I completely misunderstood what they actually were. Yes, go on.
Yeah. Well, I did what they asked,
Right.
but that person Bronwyn was mentioning,
Uh-huh.
that's one
That's
of
them.
them. Yeah, that's the one that approached me ages
I
ago.
see.
Got no idea what
Ooh.
the hell they want.
Do you want to talk to
Would
them?
you like to ask them?
Perhaps their presence
Even just asking if it
isn't
involves
great.
you.
Mm.
And if not, you can come back.
Indeed. If they're off doing their own business, then it matters not. But
Yes.
I still owe them for something long ago, and I only paid back part of it.
Best paying off debt sooner rather than later.
I think so.
Okay,
Better to have that burden off your back, I think.
I'll see if they're after me.
Let's add person 6 to the list of how many do I have to pay you if to kill someone.
The list is getting longer and longer.
People who have asked me to kill someone.
Oh, they always be killing.
Yeah, she'd be out here killing.
God.
Yeah, V will get up slowly, like try and make it look nonchalant as possible, approach the table.
Are you sitting down, or are you simply just standing beside them?
I'll just stand for now,
Mm-hmm.
because if it's I
A
don't care
little
about you,
sense
I'll
the
walk away.
unseen before she goes to make sure that even if you do sit down, you're
I
not sitting
touch
in
the
like
table.
Nosferatu's lap.
God.
With sense the unseen, get you to make wits or specs. And you stand beside them. They don't even look at you, but she just gives a nice smile towards the band and just says, "Have a seat, V."
5
Sure.
successes.
5 successes.
Eight.
She is covered in blood
Watered
wards.
to the
Oh,
watered to the max.
What a
All of her
legend.
clothes are covered in different kinds of wards against a variety of
Every
things.
yeah.
Yeah.
And the seat
Standing.
next to her is empty.
It is
And not
empty.
water.
It's just her. You can see why she has such confidence sitting there openly, is that if
Yeah,
anyone
yeah.
tried to touch her in any way, that they would probably
Yes.
lose an arm.
Bronwyn's like, "Hi, can
Oh
I
my
get you
God.
another?" Her hand explodes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh God.
Hi. You here for any
Hello.
reason in particular?
Just waiting and watching. You've been doing quite well, what we can tell.
Apparently.
Still not interested in coming back.
Not overly.
Noted. She continues just looking straight at the band, the smile never leaving her face. It's overly pleasant. Disgustingly pleasant.
Very eerie. Ugh. What are you waiting for exactly?
Waiting for you, V, of course.
For me to do something in particular, or just to come over here and chat?
No, not chat, not yet. We're waiting for that low point. When you need something. when you have nowhere else to turn, we'll be here, as we always are.
Welcoming me with warm arms, I'm sure.
Warm, open arms. You have a lot of potential. Everyone tells me so. All you need to do is just say yes. But not tonight, I don't think.
Nah.
Thought so. We'll wait.
Well,
Well, it was a lovely talking to you as per usual, but I'm gonna bounce.
I'll be here
I'm
every
sure.
single night.
Well, you're gonna be here a long time then. And she'll get up and walk back to our table.
You
Lol.
regroup with the table.
I think it's when you walked away, probably just Joseph being like, I need to find a way to be more intimidating, I think. I think I talk too much, but I'm not sure what my version of intimidation looks like. You seem quite versed in it. Any advice? I feel like less is more, but then all I know is more.
Less normally is more. If you're direct about what you want, people tend to listen.
Hmm.
People get bored with you if you use too many words.
True.
And you have status to play with as well, so it becomes easier in that regard.
Hmm.
Something you can use to your advantage if you want to, if that is your flavor of intimidation. But pointing it to our previous discussion, I think a lot of it comes from knowing what you want.
Yes. I always thought my most intimidating fact was knowing things that I shouldn't. Everyone's very secretive. They like having their things not shown. I always thought it would be scary to then be like, actually, I knew the whole time.
Yes, even if you don't, people
Hmm.
know that you know things, so you can play on that.
Yeah.
And you are known for being a certain way. If there is a sudden reversal of that, or you change your tune, then people are going to listen. It's instinctual, I think.
Bit of bait and switch.
Yes.
Come
very
forward
much.
with the soft humanity and then twist the knife.
See, for me, it's the other way around. I don't normally talk to anyone, and so when I do talk to people, they
Listen.
have a frightened reaction. Indeed. So it's a lot about hitting them with a sort of adverse version of yourself that they're not used to or don't expect, and you kind of catch them off guard in that way.
A shock to the system.
But forcing their truth upon them is the best, because especially amongst our kind, people hold their truths and everything like that so close to their chests, and if you have a one-up on them in that way, then they never ever know how to respond.
Yes. I think I'm figuring it out, but it might take a bit more practice, see what really sticks.
The best thing about you, Joseph, is that you are very, very honest in comparison to a lot of our kind. So if you force them to be honest in a way that forces their lives to unravel, they can't do the same back to you, which is it's power, basically.
Yeah. Also, because I'm so honest, it's very easy to lie because no one knows when I am.
Indeed.
But I fear that's more manipulation than intimidation in a way.
Well, they can go hand in hand. Yeah.
True.
After a brief moment of discussion, there's a pause in the music. There's the clapping as from everybody around as V makes their way back to the group, and you all regroup in this moment.
What job have you been given?
The job of hitting a very, very low point in my life.
Oh, well, we can organize that, I think.
I mean, we're seconds away from it nightly.
Yes. So
Just have to let it slip.
how can we help?
No, this is not a
Just be
job
our
that I am not a job that I am hoping to accomplish. Let's just say.
Oh, very
They-
unlike you to not complete a job.
I know, how shocking. No, they want me to join their ranks,
Oh,
but waiting until I need them.
I heard
they
the
like feel wanted, do they?
the induction for that's quite intense.
Yeah, and I never went through it the proper way because my sire owed them, and then
Ah,
when that was no longer, I also owed them.
right.
You
and
inherited the sins of your father, so to speak.
That and created some of my own.
you paid off one job, and I'm
Mhm.
assuming that the debt you owe is joining them.
That's probably what they want next.
By the sounds of it, it makes sense. But they didn't seem overly forceful towards you in any way.
No, though we should probably tell Bronwyn that she'll be here a lot. She's apparently going to wait every night until I come crawling back, which is dedication, I've got to admit, but also
Nice to want
I
to.
can admire the confidence in
Yeah.
your inevitable downfall.
Yeah. Can't say I appreciate it, but I can admire
Why
it.
is your clan like this?
Not overly the clan. She's part of, like I said, the organization that does not exist
Mhm.
is
Love that.
works
Love that
for an old Methuselah that when he woke up, he kind of shakes things around and made us all against each other in some way.
Oh, lovely.
Sounds like a delightful chap.
Yeah, he believed that everything should be one way, and anyone against that kind of thinking was weak and therefore needed to be destroyed.
That sounds
Not something I'm willing to join.
disturbingly familiar.
And you might see why I'm not keen on joining little
And the
club.
organization follows that belief.
They follow that.
The
They
enforcers of his belief.
enforcers of his belief. Also, they do the
see.
old stuff, like you do a job for a pint of blood kind of thing. So then
Oh.
you bring the blood back to Alamut, and I'm saying a lot of big secrets.
Yeah.
I think
It's a
should say
lot.
Alamut
It's
in like
cryptolected
code.
that you
Yes, yeah,
slip it.
yeah. I use a few
You
choice
take
words in,
blood into
clone.
the bucket, but we're like Alamo.
Really?
Yeah, big old school kind of stuff.
Sounds like it. Well, let's see if she sticks around, I guess. It could be rather fun to document their proposed dedication.
I guess we will have to stick together to make sure that that doesn't happen. Yeah.
Unless you decide you want to, then by
Yes, of course. You
They've-
can definitely destroy your life. if you want.
Well, I appreciate the offer, but
I know you very well now. I know all the secrets, all the soft spots.
yeah,
I even know your name.
you do.
We're really at that point, are we not?
Yes. First name basis. Wow.
Oh, it must be an intimate relationship,
Terrifying.
an intimate friendship. I know your first name.
What next? Your birthday? Ooh, terrifying.
Shocking.
Might even learn what your favorite food is.
If
You know
only
what
that
my
was
favorite food
necessary.
is.
What was it
Oh,
before,
frozen.
actually?
Before all
remember.
this, God, what was that?
You would
7
have
years
the best
ago?
memory of all of us. Yeah. How long for me? About 100.
Oh, there was these little like honey donut things that we had when we were in Cairo that had this like rose water fairy floss on top of it
Ooh.
and like pistachios. It was incredible. Oh, why are you
Sounds-
making me remember good food?
I don't know. I want to get to know you.
Damn, that was good. Gonna miss that. Shit.
I think mine before was it's quite boring actually. There was this really nice bakery where I used to live. Did this gorgeous loaf of bread, just soft enough in the middle, really firm crust. And there was this particular margarine that they sold at my local store. And as simple and boring as that is, that was one of my favorite things to have. We didn't exactly have a lot of money at the time, so.
And fresh bread's great there.
Oh, heavenly. It's all gone now, though, replaced by schools and skyscrapers and all that.
Schools and skyscrapers.
Mhm.
And
How things change.
yeah, I suppose so.
Sure, you've seen the most change, Irene.
Yeah.
What about you? Can you remember?
No, I was largely brought up on a diet of potato soup and water, but I remember
You've had it rough.
clearly. I remember that there was this thing I remembered because they started talking about food. These apple pie that my parents used to make, and
Oh,
Delicious.
there was an orchard orchard down the road from where we used to live. But that was only until I was a teenager, and then I moved away. And they would buy it from the owners of the farm, and anyway, that was a long time ago.
Oh, what I wouldn't kill for a good apple pie.
Yeah.
I
Do you know if
think
it's still there?
It probably is. Those places pride themselves on sticking around forever and ever.
Very long time. Maybe we can get some imported.
Again, we can't eat it, but
I could.
wow.
I think it is during this time of reminiscing and sitting and laughing and listening to jazz music, respite amongst all the chaos, that we'll peter out the end of our session with our
Thanks,
characters
Bronwyn.
enjoying some time off and discussing these things together.
I'm loving that our sessions keep concluding like this. It's very
We have like cute moments.
I
You're very good
trauma
at that.
followed shortly by
something
Food.
food, yeah.
yeah, food. Last time it was the fountain after like a rough.
Yeah. At least our characters got like a small section of just like
niceness
with the chaos going in the background. And
Yeah.
like,
What better time, I think.
It's that
I'm
SpongeBob
wanted
meme
by
where
a
the city's
cult, but
burning.
hey.
We did it, Patrick. We saved the city.
Okay, let's reintroduce these wonderful people. Tell us where we can find you. And yeah, we're starting with V.
Cool. Hello, I am Phoebe. I've been playing the not Coterie Banner Hakim. I am at Sherbrooke Waters on most things. I do stuff.
She does do stuff.
I do stuff. You cannot deny it, but I do stuff.
I'm Beck. I've been playing Irene the Sombra. Thank you so much to Bronwyn and Blue Velvet for providing us with the closest thing we'll get in this goddamn Chronicle to a beach episode.
You and this beach episode.
Why are you talking about beach episodes?
What it is. Because this perception you have of what a beach episode is so sad.
A moment
Wow,
of respite. That's a beach
Moment
episode,
of
right?
Yeah, a
At
moment
the
of
end
respite
of
is
Act
very
1 before
different.
things go to shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, you can find me at Zeit_Poltergeist here on Twitch, where I play games and talk about them sometimes, and I play VTM occasionally as well. We'll be starting back our Dark Ages game after 2021 ends. Thank God for that.
I'm Jack. I've been playing Joseph Martinez, House Kana, Tremere Primogen, the Prince's Warlock, Seneschal of Thinblood, and I remembered it is Sire to be.
Yeah. Expecting Sire.
I am on Twitter.
Mic drop, leaves.
I exist. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm Ethan, the storyteller of these wonderful people. Look forward to more games in the future. And the slow wrapping up of this chronicle with these wonderful people. And yeah, that's it. More games in the future. Probably won't be streaming definitely over the next few days because we have Christmas and such. Hope everybody has a wonderful time during this period. And yeah, we'll see you all. Not next week. We're taking a break next week, but we'll see you the week after. So
Merry
we'll
Christmas.
see you then. Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
See you later.
Chrysler.